All right, all right, all right. Welcome to another session of Whispers in the Woods, hopefully. Because I said that last time. Is that another poem? Okay,
Yes.
I sound insane, but it's a Discord thing.
You wouldn't get it
Sorry,
unless you joined Discord.
you wouldn't get it unless you are a Discord member! Exclamation mark Discord. um, but yeah, so I I I believe we're good to go. I can see Sybil online, so that's promising. I even sent out a reminder to make sure. But how's everybody doing today? My day has been going good. I've got the new group semi sorted. Now we just need to talk about a session 0 getting started. Yes.
Nice.
It will most likely not be this. I'd hoped maybe to get the session 0 this weekend, but I think one of them is busy this weekend, so most likely will not be this weekend. And then we're gonna try to get it for next week. But I'm thinking Saturdays is going to be the right day for them. They all seem to have that work. But we're in the next stages of planning now, so very soon there'll be a session 0, definitely within the month.
You said they're gonna pick their location on the session 0, right?
Yeah, I might let them know the options ahead of time before you guys know them,
Right.
and let them pick ahead of time just because that might give them some extra time so they don't feel pressured to pick it during a session 0. But yeah, they're gonna have a sort of a choice of a few, two kind of average length ones and one maybe shorter one, depending on how they feel. The choice is kind of between those three. So we'll see what they're interested in, and then we'll let them make their characters after that, because I want them to kind of have an idea of what the campaign involves before they make them, just so that they can make informed choices. But yeah, it should be a good time. They're varying experience with D&D. Some of them have a little bit more, some of them a little bit less. We have some brand new people in the group, so that'll be fun. The 3 are all designed to be accessible to beginners, so they'll have no trouble getting everything sorted. So yeah, that'll happening very soon, and we'll get it started. Yeah, just sort of cycling through new things as things draw to a close. Eventually, Whispers will draw to a close, and then we'll start up another one, picked from, of course, the other 2 options that the new group don't pick. And then I think after that, the focus will be getting on a season 2, which I think will probably be Brass Hand season 2, since that's just how it works out. Since Silver Song ended before Whispers, I think we'll do Brass Hand first.
The Brasser Hand.
That's the goal, is to get 2 new campaigns and 1 season 2. I think that's the good cycle to do if we're gonna have 3 going. 2 new campaigns for every other season 2. A whole year, Senan. Thank you for the 12 months. Man, it really doesn't feel like a whole year, but yeah, welcome to the year club. Yeah, so that's what's coming up on the channel in the foreseeable future. And try to get things rolling as smoothly as possible. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. I have to pull something up on my own notes. So disregard me. Or don't. That's okay too. Chat is asking you how you are, Luno, if you don't have it open.
Oh, I was tabbed. I'm doing good, Tasty. How are you?
Forgot to pull up the encounter that we're on. That's what I'm doing. Made it through. It's what counts, Tasty.
It sucks, dude. Hope you have a great night, though.
Oh, awesome. Okay, good. I'm always unsure what state the combat tracker is in, but it seems to now remember initiative orders, which is good. That means I don't have to type it in again. We've got also, since we've last had a session, the dark mode is now active on Roll20, so things will look better now.
D&D Beyond encounter tracker, did they add? I was looking at it a while back, or not a while back, but somewhat recently. Did they add to where you can like number the mobs or like name them if they're the same mob, so you know which one's which, like tracking?
It A, B, and C's them
Okay.
automatically. And then what I usually do is on Roll20, I like click the token, and then in those little bubbles where the health and stuff, you can place the health and all those meters. I usually just put the numbers in there or the letters in there.
Right. Yeah, I thought we talked about it like a while back, but like it didn't have anything. The D&D Beyond one.
Yeah, that was it definitely letters them now. I'm not sure when
Okay.
they added that, but it definitely does do that, which is helpful because now I can just go like A, B, C on each of the creatures. Which, speaking of,
Right.
I just kind of pick them at random and then let the initiative rolls be what they are.
Yeah, I'd noticed that and I was like, oh, that's nice. They actually added that because that was a needed thing.
Yeah, for sure. Would have been brutal if we didn't have that. The dark mode looks pretty good too. It's pretty slick. I like it.
I like it because like I have like a browser dark mode thing, and
Yes.
it just doesn't work on Roll20, or like it does, but it doesn't work when I use character sheets.
Yeah, it's I also was using that in the past, like a browser dark mode. So it was it was not perfect. The old dark mode that I was using, and it would sometimes, anytime Roll20 would update, the dark mode would just stop working on it. I've had to cycle in different dark mode extensions in the past just to get that bright white background to go away. It was too blinding. And it just didn't look very good with all the maps. But now we have a nice seamless black right into the very common black background that I use for a lot of maps. So this looks way better. Plus, it looks pretty good on all the tabs too. I like how it looks. Yeah, it's definitely better than the extension I was using, so I don't need those anymore. Alrighty, I'm not sure what's up with Sybil. Hopefully everything's alright. Hopefully it's not just another forgetting. I pinged Sewell privately, so yeah, the plugins were not great. They were okay, and it was better than staring at the bright white background, but they were still not ideal. Does the is there any problems with Beyond 20? Are we still able to use that?
I haven't had any problems with it.
Okay, because just sometimes when Roll20 changes things, it just breaks. So I always like to make sure it's
Wow.
working.
I had to roll an at 20 on my test roll,
Well, it's
Those
wasted
some
now.
strong hooves.
Alrighty. Yeah, so for those who have arrived late, we're currently waiting on Sybil, not okay. Okay, Sybil's on their way. So yeah. We'll have the session. It'll just be a bit of a later one. So yeah. We'll get started in a little bit. They are on their way. So this won't be another session where people show up and then we have to go. Sorry, we will have the session. It'll just be slightly shorter by the time we get started. So here is that's your general recap if you want to do a bit of reading. But I'll go through it again. Since we're waiting anyway. So. After finding strange sigils on the backs of each of their hands, the party proceeded to seek out why exactly they'd had these strange markings. And after grouping up together, finding each of them having this sigil in common, they found quickly that they'd also been marked for assassination, which seemed to be caused by the fact that they bore these sigils. And so, after hunting down some of the assassins who had attempted to kill them and trying to find exactly what was going on, they quickly realized that the assassins were being hired by a strange figure named Beira, or as the guise she was going under, Beatrice. And the sigil seemed to be the mark of the fair folk. In fact, the summer court, archfey who convene to protect the nature of Cael Taihera, the continent that they are currently on. And after being tasked with protecting the forests of Cael Taihera from Beira's plot, which seemed to involve black mold that was spreading across the forest and killing most of the dryads, as well as anything else that lived within the woods. The party had a bit of a mishap in which one of them made a slightly ill-advised decision, which involved the kidnapping of an innocent creature. And that little incident caused a bit of a brief schism between that character and the summer court, which a previously unseen third party decided to capitalize on and corrupt that character, who was of course Martos, the half-orc. But Martos opted to, rather than be corrupted, cut her own hand off and flee the scene of the crime, which happened to be in the city of the Fae Upper Loft. And so Draven, the elf, of course, proceeded to follow her, and that is why we had two new party members join, a centaur named Soquili and a satyr named Lola, who are both seeking out the black mold in order to rid the forests of what is destroying it. And so, after locating Beira's lair, which seemed to be an old abandoned castle in the Feywild called the Briar Keep, the party slipped the veil between planes and made their way to the castle. And for the past few sessions have been exploring said castle and finding quite a few puzzles, some of them optional and some of them not so much. And so, after finding a side path that led them to the old dovecote out in the yard, the party proceeded to quickly double back. I forget what your reason was for doubling back, but you made your way back through the greenhouse and were set upon by some strange-looking wolves that were skeletal with flowers and leaves growing all across them. And that was where we ended the session. So, we will be returning right at the top of that combat encounter. Are we all here? We're all good to go?
I'm good.
I didn't notice Sybil
Yep.
coming.
Oh, sorry for that.
You sneak.
Alrighty. Then we can get started. Let me pick up my dice off the floor that I just dropped. It's becoming a curse. I always drop the D4. The most dangerous one to leave on the ground.
The pointy.
Arguably worse than Lego to step on.
They're like little tacks.
I think Legos
They're-
have like more sharp edges though.
I don't know. The D4 is kind of just all sharp edge.
I mean, true. It's a little more precise in its menacing appeal.
A Lego would usually lie kind of flat along one of the surfaces and then have another flat surface. Even if that flat surface kind of hurts because it's got a texture on it. The D4 is just a caltrop.
I guess it depends on which Lego piece. Some of them aren't bad.
Yeah, it definitely depends on which Lego
But some of
piece.
them are like they just have really sharp edges.
Alrighty, let's get going. So, the creatures crash through the windows of the greenhouse, scattering glass and snarling at you as you attempted to cross it once more and return back to the backyard of the keep. And as you begin to draw your weapons, they quickly set upon you. I haven't done this song in a while. Let's do this one. So, first to act is our friend in the corner here. That's right. You guys didn't have amazing initiative rolls.
But considering our past, they
to
weren't
be
that
fair,
bad.
to be fair, neither did the wolves. So it kind of evened out. One of the wolves, the one that crashed through in the corner, immediately begins to race its way across the tiles towards you, Sybil. You can hear kind of its claws against the tiles from behind you as it approaches. And as you sort of spin to face it, it actually shoots a little burst of spores at you in a circle around it. So that'll just get you, Sybil.
Mhm.
So make a Constitution save.
Yikes.
Oh,
Oh.
it's a good day.
Okay. You get a face full of these spores, and you begin to feel sort of numb tingling in your fingers and in your toes. So your movement has been reduced by 10 feet.
Okay.
And you're going to take 4 poison damage.
Right.
And that is the end of its turn, which brings us to Lola.
Oh my goodness. All right. Look here. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try to fairy fire these guys over here.
Okay. Let me get you your fairy fire, and you can just place it where you want.
Gotcha.
There you go. You can move it now.
Oh no. Come back here. Get in here. Get in here. Get in here. Alright, well. I'm gonna get this one. I'm
there-
changing my mind.
Oh, sorry. I was...
I'm changing my mind. We'll go over here.
Yeah, sure. That's probably a better placement.
Cool. Turn.
Alrighty. What's the save? Dex. Okay.
They're fast boys,
Alright.
aren't they?
They are pretty speedy, but they're not excessively so. They're just semi good at it. So we'll give them some Dex saves. That's one
Well-
failure from the top one. Let me move that to the back. Failure here. So we're gonna make him purple. And the second one rolled a nat 1, so that's both purple.
Nice.
Alright, bet.
Very nice.
Alright.
And I'm gonna hide behind this pot right here.
Do you mean genuinely? Because this is half cover if you want to duck behind it.
Oh, hell yeah, genuinely. I'm ducking.
All right.
So eyeball them.
It's
That is
waist
so far.
waist high cover like we're in Gears of War game. All right. Next in the turn order, if that is the end of your turn, Lola, is Wits.
All right. Let's see. Which will run up to. Let me see this. Yeah, which will run up to here and kind of like do the same thing as Lola almost, but he'll like reach over like the little half wall and he'll cast Ray of Frost on this guy.
Very well.
Well,
Unfortunately, that
he's
will
gonna
not
cry
hit.
now.
Your beam of frost fires across the greenhouse, and the little dog manages to hop out of the way before it can hit it. And instead, you just sort of blast the flower pot behind it, which you see frost kind of spread across the leaves of this flower behind.
Which is kind of like knock this plant, and be like, fucking plant's in the way.
Yeah, you just gotta push it out of frustration. You push this flower, and it just kind of shatters along the ground.
That's what's his turn.
Yeah, devastating turn for the plants. All right. Then, next in the turn order is. I did my best to make the grid as close to the tiles as possible, so that we didn't have to worry about it. The wolf rounds the side of the table here, Lola, and comes up beside you. So unfortunately, you won't really benefit much from your cover for this attack,
Oh.
as it is right beside you and not on the opposite side of it. But it's going to attempt to bite at you with the large skeletal jaws. And you have an AC
Nasty
of 14, and that was a 17, so that hits you.
Gimme.
That will hit you for 6 piercing damage, as it sinks its fangs into the side of your arm and bites down hard. And that'll be the end of its turn, which brings us to Sequili.
All right.
Sequili, for reference, it's been a while. You drank your tea, but I've not obviously been keeping track of time. So I'll say that tea is still active for this encounter, and then from then on it'll have worn off, because I'm not keeping track of an hour in game time when you guys are just walking around. So
Fair enough.
your tea will be active for this fight, and then we'll say that it's been an hour after that.
Well, I'm gonna take advantage of this fairy fire. So I'm gonna make my way, run up here, just in between these two.
Yep.
And I'm gonna start with attacking the one to the south.
Very well.
That's advantage, correct?
Sorry, what?
The advantage, they failed the saves for the fairy fire?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. That's a crit on the first one.
All right.
16 off that attack.
Okay, against that one. So your pike stabs right through sort of the eye socket of this one right here, and you just kind of see it shudder and just cracks start to form along the skeleton of it, and it now looks sort of damaged and weak looking, but it's still standing.
Okay, I'm gonna yank my pike out and then just baseball bat it with the other
Very
side.
well. Go for it.
Is the second attack an advantage? I guess it's all, right? As long
Uh,
as they're affected by that.
yeah, it is advantage as long as you can see it, and it can't turn invisible. It's just any attack roll.
Alright,
So,
21.
The 21 indeed hits.
6 bludgeoning.
All right. Then as you pull your pike back out, you spin it around and hit it with the blunt end, baseball bat it, as you said, and you just sort of cleanly knock the skull right off the flower part of this wolf. And the skull just sort of rattles across the tiles, clanking off some of the shelves over in the corner as the rest of the wolf falls to the ground.
Excellent. And then I'm just gonna kind of twirl my horse body around and face the one above me, and
Very
that'll
well.
be my turn.
Very well. All right. Next to act will be the one that you just turned to face, Sequili. And it is going to attempt to bite at you with its fangs as well, as you are right up against it.
Sure thing. AC 17.
It does not hit a 17. It got a 15. So it tries to bite at you, but you get your arm up, and it just sinks into to metal and leather. And then it releases its jaws to ready itself to strike again, but that is the end of its turn. Which brings us to Sybil.
All right. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to get within range with only 20 feet of movement, like that way, or
Yeah, you can move to this space for sure, because again, you don't take up 5 feet in all directions.
Mhm.
So this is a
Yeah.
space you could stand on if you want.
Oh, I can stand on the table?
You could hop over the table if you really wanted to.
Okay. And Sybil's gonna hop over the table and use Shillelagh as my bonus action.
You do like an action movie slide over the table, right in between the flowers, and the flowers just kind of perfectly undisturbed.
Nice. Then she's going to, with Shillelagh on her staff, attempt to hit.
Yeah, and roll it with advantage, of course.
Oh my gosh, I forget how long that is.
Yeah, that's the full staff.
I hit DC.
Roll that hit with advantage also.
Sorry, yeah, I'm just gonna do it in roll 20.
Very well.
So that'd be a 14 with advantage.
Yep, that hits.
Okay.
So
And,
roll your damage.
Right. And that would be a 1.
Is it really?
Huh?
Let me check. Is that really what you're?
1d8 minus 1 is my staff with Shillelagh, actually.
You
Oh.
should. Yeah, you're not. You're just rolling your generic staff. You need to roll your shillelagh.
Yep,
'Cause,
sorry, forgot about that.
It wasn't just a 14. It was higher than that. You have a +5 when you're rolling shillelagh.
Okay.
I thought that was off, but yeah, the 14 would have hit anyway. Yeah, so that'll be 5 bludgeoning instead. So yeah, you smash it over the head, and you see those cracks kind of form along its skull, but it's still relatively healthy. Now it's kind of turned and snarling at you instead, Sobel. That is that one, which brings us to the last wolf, which sprints across the skittering tiles and then is going to hop up on top of the table here in the spot where you knocked that flower pot off. And now kind of almost stands almost at kind of head height for you two. And it is going to release a burst of spores on the two of you, so con saves both.
Alrighty.
Ugh.
Alright, that's a
Not
double
a good
failure,
thing, eh?
so both of you have your movement reduced by 10 feet. And both of you are also going to take 7 poison damage.
Ew. Ew.
As you sort of cough and choke as these spores fill the air.
Puh.
Not a con save day, is it?
Nope.
Definitely not.
Alrighty, that is the end of its turn, which brings us to the deceased wolf. So in turn, we roll right back around to Lola.
Ugh.
As you begin to sort of clear the spores from around your face and regain some of your eyesight, what do you do?
I'm gonna go look this ugly mug in his eye sockets. I'm gonna try to get the fuck away from me. I'm gonna cast my distant whispers. Ooh.
Alrighty, I will make a wisdom save for the wolf. Wisdom, not particularly their best stat. So he's going to fail that.
Yes.
Alrighty, remind me Dissonant Whispers. Yeah, I confuse it with the other one.
Let me read it real fast. Oh, okay. Blah, blah, blah.
I can read it quick too. If you had it in the top of your head.
I did not. If I know if I think
okay.
it.
You rolled the psychic damage already, so we'll take 14 of that. And we'll immediately
Move
use
that
its
far.
reaction to get the hell away from you.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty, so 30 feet of movement. Sorry, hang I'll say it goes there. That's
Perfect.
about as far away from you as it can get. And it takes 14 psychic damage. So as you sort of send these whispers through the air, you see it just sort of kind of flinch and turn its head at a weird angle, and you can see these cracks start to spread across its skull as it deals the psychic damage.
God, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay here. Gonna hang out. So let's win this together now.
Yeah, we got this guy.
Then that brings us to Witz's turn.
Okay, question. I know using anything ranged at this range would be disadvantage, but that
Yeah,
comes with
unless the
bonus
spell
right?
unless the spell has a save. If it's a roll to hit, then it has disadvantage unless it's a
Oh.
melee attack.
So if it's a save, it doesn't have oh yeah, that makes sense.
If it's a save, it doesn't matter.
All right. Follow-up question.
That's
do you
the
think-
upside of save stuff, is that you can do them at close range, unless of course you're catching yourself in the the bubble.
Oh, all right. Follow-up question. Would this potted plant here weigh less than 5 pounds?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's full of earth, so I'd say it's probably around that amount, probably just shy of 5. A heavy kind of clay pot plus a bunch of earth. I'd say it's probably around that. If you want to catapult it, you can.
Okay, yeah. It's just gonna grab the potted plant. He's gonna catapult it at this guy.
I assume that was what you're asking, and yeah, that's totally a reasonable
Yes.
thing. All right, very well. Is that a dex save for him?
Yeah, it's a dex save DC 13.
Alrighty. That was a 12.
Ooh. All right, let me roll my damage then. 11.
All right. So as this wolf kind of hops up onto the counter and is ready to jump off and sink its fangs into you too, all of a sudden, right out of the corner of its eye, you just kind of make a little gesture with your hand wits, and it just sort of flies straight into the side of its skull. And you just kind of hear a crunch as this heavy clay pot that the flower was in slams against it, and you can now see the whole kind of side of its face there is all cracked, part of its jaw as well.
And as we
which
said
one's-
before, Witz's somatic is is holding up his middle finger. So I'm gonna hold true to that since I said that one time.
Fair enough. Alrighty.
And that'll be Witz's turn.
Very well. Okay. Then, yeah, the plants are taking some heavy damage here in this fight. That brings us to the plant that Lola scared away. And now kind of wounded and wary of whatever you just gave it, Lola, I'm actually going to make a roll to see its behavior here. Okay. So actually, rather than trying to run back and attack you, Lola, it wants nothing to do with that and is going to dash to get to Sybil instead.
It's a party over here.
I'll react with a full arm master AO.
Yep, go for it.
Sure.
All right, 19 hits.
Duck Sybil.
All right, nice roll. So, as this one you see kind of look at you, Lola, and then wants nothing to do with those whispers that you just sort of shattered part of its skull with. It tries to go and capitalize on the fact that Sybil's not facing it and kind of strike her from behind, but Sequili, you react as it runs up behind her, and you tell Sybil to duck as you just sort of stab your pike across the table at it. And as it tries to kind of come up behind and lunge at Sybil, instead it meets the sharp end of your pike, and you just kind of stab it right in between its jaws, and it falls down dead.
That's how we do it.
Dang.
Which brings us to your turn, Sequila.
All right. I guess riding the momentum off of that, I'm gonna yank my pike back and then jab it out at the one above me, the one to the north.
Very well. An 11 does not hit. Even with advantage, you still miss. So you stab at this one, but it kind of hops out of the way. And does not make.
That's all right. Let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna baseball bat that one then. All right, that'll hit.
All right.
Wait, I rolled
That was-
charge.
that was
I
a
didn't
charge
mean
roll.
to.
Is
it's
it
the
a different?
same hit, same damage.
Then it's fine. If it's the same modifier, then I don't care. If you accidentally rolled the wrong thing, we'll still use the hit. Alrighty. So that the second strike does hit as it quickly dodges out of the way of your first one. Use the opportunity to capitalize on that opening that it just made to slam it with the blunt side and deal another 6 bludgeoning to this wolf. Which now has quite a few cracks along the skeletal surface of it. But the vines and petals are sort of still holding it together, so it is still very much alive.
All right. Looks like they're handling stuff well over there, so I'm just gonna chill here. That's my turn.
Very well. That'll bring us immediately to this one's turn, the one you just attacked, which will turn and attempt to bite Sybil, as it did not have much success with you last time. So clearly.
Understandable.
Alrighty. A 21 will hit you.
It will absolutely hit me. Yep.
So that is going to be 9 piercing.
Cool.
It manages to catch you before you're able to step out of the way, and it sinks its jaws down into your leg hard, and you can kind of feel blood now trickling down your leg.
Ouch, man.
Which brings us to your turn, Sybil. The one behind you that was trying to sneak up on you is dead, leaving only the half-cracked one right in front of you.
Revenge. Man.
You do have advantage on it still.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Come on, Sybil. Aw. Oh.
Brutal. That is unfortunately not quite enough. And so you attempt to strike it with Shillelagh once more, but it quickly dances out of the way.
Not a great time happening for Sybil here.
All right. That brings us back to this wolf here. Who's going to attempt to... part of its jaw sort of cracked. It's going to attempt to claw at Lola instead of bite her.
Understandable.
So it takes those talon-like claws and slashes at you. And that was a 18, which you're 14.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty. So that will be only 4 slashing, but I forgot to make you do this last time. Make a concentration save as well for fairy fire. You got the free one.
Or not.
And
free.
You keep it up.
Woo!
So you take the slashing damage, but you manage to hold concentration, and your spell stays active. That'll be the end of that one's turn. And so, it's now your turn, Lola.
Revenge.
You set your sights on the one that just attacked you. As soon as it recovers from slashing at you, you immediately turn around, and what do you do?
I'm gonna take my little sword. I'm just gonna swing at it like a maniac, and I'm gonna miss it because I'm a maniac.
Perhaps a little too overzealous, you swing wildly at the creature and do not manage to hit it. Maybe a little bit too overeager.
Oh god. I'm gonna use my bonus action to healing word myself. Okay,
Very well.
not much. Looking better. I feel great, guys.
All right. You take a moment to heal up some of the wounds that were just given to you, and if that is the end of your turn, then we will move on to Wits.
I'm gonna stab him.
All right.
Here it is. I'm not gonna stab him.
You attempt to stab
We're
him, but
struggling.
it dived out of the way of Lola's attacks and then dives out of the way of yours. Clearly very desperate to remain alive, this wolf. It's bobbing and weaving.
Since Witz has his dagger, another dagger in his other hand, he's gonna bonus action 2-weapon fighting and try to stab him again.
He does have the higher ground, yeah. All right. The wolf is just ultra instinct dodging all of your attacks.
Well, there's another plant nearby I could have used instead.
And the two of you do not manage to strike this wolf, as it, even though it's injured, it manages to dodge out of the way. So that's the end of your turn, Wits.
Yep.
Then it's now Sequeli's turn.
We're gonna try to finish off this glowing wolf.
Very well.
Is
20
it
will hit.
If he's dead from that, I want to like impale him through the mouth and then just like flip him over, like over top of me onto the other side and just slam him down on that one.
Yeah, indeed you do that. You stab straight through it and slam it down on top of the other one. And both of them crumple to the floor and are deceased.
Excellent. And then how's everybody looking? Is anyone looking injured? Like more than just a little bit?
I'd
There's
say-
some wounds, but nobody looks like they're clinging to life.
Okay. Let's see. I'll run over here.
All right. The
Kinda-
rest of you hear the gallop of hooves as Sequeli quickly approaches Lola and Wits to provide some support.
I want to kind of just like bop him on the head, try to get him off the table.
All right.
No, off the table.
Yeah, down boy. All right, go for it.
God, apparently he's got that high ground count.
The high ground is helping.
Yeah, his eyes are like glowing bright red. He's in full. Can't touch this guy. He's activated now.
God.
Alright, that's my turn.
So you meet only wood and a chunk of the shelf kind of cracks off, but the dog still remains.
Thinking with the pot must have activated some neurons that makes him like invincible now.
So with this one dead, that brings us immediately right back to Sybil.
She's gonna try making her way over to this situation over here as best she can. So, and that is the limit of her movement. And I think I can also use Form Whip from this distance. So
I believe so.
that's 30 feet. So
Yeah, you're all good.
okay. 13 hit.
A 13 unfortunately does not hit.
Dang it. Ugh. Having a lot of
just-
luck with the rolls
just-
today.
Just shy. You needed a 14.
Whatever this dog ate for breakfast, I want. We only hit him with a safe throw.
Just imagine like all the gymnastics he's doing to avoid all our attacks in that one spot between those two potted plants.
Hey, he's looking cool as hell.
All right. So that brings us back to his turn.
Oops, that was the wrong thing. I clicked something by accident.
You shouldn't.
Why
Yeah,
did you do
your poison was cured, so I just wanted to make sure that
Okay.
was.
I don't know why it wanted to open it in Roll20.
Okay. The wolf will capitalize on the incredible luck that he's having, and he's going to attempt to attack. Both of you are pretty similar. Neither of you looks particularly more intimidating than the other, so it's not going to pick its targets like that behavior-wise. So I'm purely going to odds evens you two.
Evens.
Even. Oh, fuck. Odd.
All right, Lola it is.
Ugh.
He's scared of the drip that Wits has.
Indeed.
I'm gonna use my cutting word to take off whatever DC. Ooh! Hell yeah. I'm not getting hit again.
Sorry, what did you use?
I'm using my cutting word to take off from his attack roll.
Very well. Okay, so you're using one of your bardic inspirations.
As a reaction.
I just had to reread that because I haven't seen that ability in a while.
I've never used it before. This is my first time.
Fair
and I
enough,
play
yeah.
a bard, so I gotta.
Yeah, then that forces it to miss actually.
What's the cutting word you say?
Yeah, right before it sinks its fangs into you.
That's an order.
You just
Break off!
with the force of a giant's shout, and the
Bad-
creature does
bad
not
boy.
manage. The creature, yeah, bad one. Creature does not manage to hit you. Shaken by your cutting words.
He's like, I thought I was a good boy.
Yeah,
I was
did you
doing
see all
little
those?
flips
Did you
and
see all those
tricks.
tricks? Yeah.
I deserve a treat.
All right, then that'll be the end of its turn as you force it to miss. So it is immediately your turn again, Lola.
I'm jumping over this table. Huh.
Very well.
I'm gonna try to smack its booty. Please smack its booty.
Oh my god.
I just want to smack a booty.
It does not. Everybody's missing now.
Should have stayed on the goddamn table.
You did not manage to hit. Is there anything else you want to do?
Nice.
I just stare sadly at my opponents. Hey guys, that is it.
Very well.
I'm gonna put my sword up too. I'm just gonna put that back. Tap it away.
Just put everything away and just have a seat on the ground.
I need a minute.
Do some soul searching while it is now Witz's turn.
Wits is tired of this dog. He's gonna stand on the table and attempt to kick it off the table.
Not that it doesn't deserve to be kicked.
Okay.
Actually, wait.
That'd
Wits
be
still
like a
has that
shove.
cane. I'd say the cane still counts the same as the unarmed attack anyway. I just want it for flavor purposes that he hits it with the cane that he had earlier.
Bad boy.
I will add that if you are trying to unarmed strike it, you do 0 damage. But if you only want to push it off the table, you could try to force a grapple or something like that. We could improvise something.
Yeah, I just want him off the table. Whatever this table's made out of, I don't want him on it.
Okay. Then I guess you could do contesting, athletics. Though I don't
This
think
is
that's
much
what
less
you want to
appealing
do
of
right
an
now.
outcome.
I don't know if
Fine.
that's exactly in your wheelhouse right now with the exhaustion plus the
This is
the general state of a wizard.
All right. In that
You
case,
could do something else if you want to. You're not locked in.
in that case, Wits is going to harbor the power of the high ground that is now even ground with him.
Indeed, yeah. He
and
doesn't have that
attempt
power over
to
you anymore.
Stab him. Yes.
Perfect. All right, roll your damage. You remove his high ground advantage.
Right. And then he will bonus action 2-weapon attack with the other knife.
All right, go for it. It does have more than 4 health, so it is still alive. But is now looking
And-
quite injured.
This is only 2 damage. It doesn't add the modifier.
Right. Then the second one does indeed hit, and 2 damage. 2 damage will leave this enemy with a single point of health. So this enemy is now surrounded on all sides by its foes, as its compatriots have collapsed on the ground dead, and is now at 1 HP.
This would be a perfect time for him to cast Fireball.
So Queely. I would have it consider running away, but there's an awful lot of turns before that happens, so it's your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna we're over here and then just like jump my front legs up and then just kick them with my hose.
Very well. See if the hoof luck is still present.
It is.
It is. Barely even need to roll for that. As it kind of focuses on Witz's slashes, you come up to the side and just plant your hooves right against the side of it and just kick it off the side of the table here, and it just smashes against the wall and collapses to the ground.
Being on table bad.
For me.
You okay?
All right. So, as the greenhouse falls silent once more, you look around and see the corpses of your foes and some scattered shards of flower pot still remaining. What would you like to do now?
Did we check that door? I know we walked over on that side of the room, but I can't remember.
This?
Was the
Yeah, we
pigeon
did.
coop.
Yeah.
Ah, that's
Oh, yeah.
right. That's right.
That was where the
It had
dovecote
that.
was. You kind of like briefly poked around the dovecote and then left, so that you could do the bird funeral, and then you never went back inside the dovecote.
Yeah, with her playing with
There's
the-
something in the dove, but we got too distracted.
I think you took
Okay.
from me laughing really hard at you when you left to mean that. Perhaps a good train of thought.
How could we forget her like playing with the like little toy plane?
Yes, that was my favorite. So Lola, you kind of take a look at the corpse here. I presume that you're examining. Unless there's anything that you're particularly doing right now. No? All right. The creatures
What's
appear to
happening?
be. I was just asking if you were doing anything when you walked up to the corpse there.
Oh, I'm picking off a petal.
Okay.
Mike.
I figured it's probably something like that. That's what I wanted to ask. But yeah, it appears as though they're sort of the skeletons of large dogs or wolves that have been kind of inhabited by this other flower that coiled up through them and sort of animated the skeleton. You pull off one of the petals. You may be using your short sword to help you with that. And you now have a large red petal. It feels much like the texture and consistency of your average flower petal. Welcome. DZX. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I don't know if the X was a part of the EN part. Is it like Zen? But welcome regardless. So you look around, and I believe you already kind of scoured this place for items last time.
Yes.
Very well.
One thing Witz is gonna do, he's now noticing it because he destroyed like half the plants in this area. He notices this plant and he's curious about it because it looks vastly different than the others.
Does it look vastly different than that one?
Which
Or
the bear
perhaps
thinking.
that
sorry,
one.
sorry. I just I had to make that joke. Sorry. But
run.
yeah, you take a look at it, and it looks sort of like a creeper vine that's been kind of planted in this little pot here. It's kind of begun to coil around the pot itself, and part of the wall as well. It has these sort of small leaves that have this kind of almost pale yellow tinge to them, though the light in here makes everything look blue.
Well, if anyone has any in-character motivations or things they can think of to go back to the aviary or whatever what do you call it, Jay?
A dovecote.
That. Because Soquili did what he was wanting to do, which was bury the bird. Dovecote. Okay. Otherwise, I am interested in that hedge maze.
Which is kind of interested in the hedge maze too.
Lola forgets all.
Sybil's not super interested in the doves.
You don't need an in-character reason if out of character you think you should go back there, as if you hadn't fully examined
No,
it
we
quite
definitely-
enough.
We definitely missed something. There's something in the poop. There is something in the poop.
You can just
Oh,
sort of
that's not gonna be fun.
you can just
Probably
sort of
like
feel
a
that you
letter
missed
or
something. You don't need to force yourself into a plan of action just because you feel it's what your character would particularly do.
You know what Lola forgot? Well, Lola forgot to shift through the bird poop.
Like with
For
the dead
secrets.
birds? Is that what you forgot?
Lola
to-
feels the need to touch bird poop right now to calm her body. And maybe as like a moisturizer. I don't know.
All right, well that's a good enough reason of any if I've ever heard one. So very well. You turn back around, following Lola on her quest, and make your way back along towards
We'll
the
make
Dovecote.
airplane noises. Make airplane noises.
What is airplane?
Everyone make weird bird noises.
What's this making birds with the little the smoke pipe?
We pay respect to the fallen.
Very well.
Soquili's doing a quail call.
And you make your way back into the the Dovecote to humor Lola.
All right, Yola, go play with your shite.
I'm gonna go play with the poop. And look at all these cages. I'm really gonna shuffle through there too. I'm gonna get my hands in there and be like, yeah, what's in here?
Alright, you take a quick look through the bottoms of the cages here, as you guys hadn't done that last time, and you find sort of buried in with some of the droppings, the feathers, and just sort of the bottom of the cage here, which includes some skeletal remains of some of the doves. You find a small metal key. And
Success.
the end of the key, the part that you would hold when you were turning it in a lock, has sort of the insignia of getting a bit of background
I'm
noise
so
from
sorry, guys.
Sorry, it was funny. The part of the key that you would hold has an emblazoned insignia of a dove.
Oh, y'all.
Oh my god.
I think we finally getting into one of them rooms. I got bird poop hands and a bird poop key, but look at this.
Sorry. From the moment that he said that it was a key, my jaws has been dropped the whole time. That we were about to just leave this place.
Well, that was why I laughed so hard last time, because you guys got distracted by the bird funeral almost immediately after entering and forgot the whole fact that there were a bunch of locked doors that had a dove symbol on them.
I didn't even think about the doves.
Sorry, my brain turned off once we figured
That
out
was
how to
why
get
I
the,
kept specifically
gate.
calling it a dove coat and not like an aviary or or like the bird cages. I kept specifically saying dovecote because I was trying to remind you.
Tunnel
still
visioned on
pigeon.
the snake doors.
The snake
Yeah,
doors
I
and then
wonder
the
where the
hedge
snakes
maze.
are.
There's a lot of stuff here, so
I made
I
the
don't-
mistake of calling them pigeons,
I
so they
don't-
were pigeons in my head.
Yeah,
I don't
pigeon
blame
trainers
you.
are Mr. Common. That's why I was.
that
thinking of
was
it,
why I
too.
kept saying dove.
They're
Yeah,
pigeons.
Yeah,
I was hoping that I wouldn't have to connect that dove for you.
because all I was thinking of whenever you first said it was doves, it was like, oh, like at weddings, whenever they release them. Like, what's the look like a
Yeah.
whole aviary for?
We never said we were the smartest group.
Lola, you show the others what you found in the dove droppings.
Yeah, which is a clever wizard, not a smart one.
Exactly.
Oh, what you got there?
I got bird poop key.
Oh, great. You can hold
A
on to it
dove.
then.
A dove bird poop key.
No, how useful.
Exactly.
You should
Godfrey?
wash hands.
I should definitely
Yeah.
wash hands.
Dude.
No one's gonna want to high five me after this.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
actually, even I, you know, yeah. Just kind of want to keep my distance, you know.
But Wits,
Oh,
Wits, we've been friends for so long.
I know,
But
but it's
Wits!
not like fight.
But Wits, hold on, I'll rub my hands on your chest.
I
I am faster than you. I will catch you.
oh no, you got us
will let
tripped.
the dice decide that.
All right. Should we go to the dove or do I want to head into the maze? That is
Go
the
for the maze.
question.
Like, I feel like the maze is kind of it feels closer in my brain. I'm
It
not
is
sure if it
closer.
actually is, but
It is closer.
Yeah, it is. It's
It's
like
definitely
right
closer.
out. Whenever we go through the greenhouse, it's like just south of there.
You just go straight. Yeah. Okay, so we'll head into the maze and hope for the best.
The four of you make your way back out of the dovecote and through the greenhouse, weaving your way back in between those shelves of potted flowers and plants, and back to the other end.
Oh, do we still have the limited movement from the doggos?
Over the course of kind of the next minute or so, as you guys were walking throughout the dovecote and then back through the greenhouse, that kind of tingling that was kind of slowing your movement, it felt like kind of your feet were asleep. It does begin to fade. So you're back to normal. I will remove some of those icons and recopy you guys. Alrighty. There we go. So, making your way out of the greenhouse, you return to the backyard where the large fountain is.
Lola, do you still have shite in your hands?
I'm washing my hands right now. Don't talk to me.
Oh, okay, I thought these presentations.
No, we just wash hands.
Lola, as you kind of lean over the side of the
Oh
fountain here
God.
and wash your hands, can you make a perception check for me?
Can I see? No, I can't. Oh,
Sorry.
I'm talking about. I'm just washing.
You wash your hands.
My hands are clean.
They are indeed cleaner.
Yes, this water is
Baby.
made of water.
The water itself is not perfectly clear. It is a little bit murky. It looks kind of like pond water rather than a crystal clear fountain water. But it is enough to clean your hands of the bird droppings, Lola.
Clean is clean, you know? Clean is clean.
And so you turn your attention back towards the south of the large backyard. And a small kind of group of hedges lead towards this towering wall of hedges in the distance.
Squealy will go first.
Squilly big.
Oh wait, hold on. Do you think we should leave some sort of trail or something so we don't get lost?
do we have like a? Oh dang it. Do we have like bag of soil or any? Lola, do you still have any like kind of dirt or sediment in your pockets?
I have jelly in my pockets. I don't put dirt
Oh.
in my pockets. You must be thinking about someone else. But I
Oh,
have jelly
yeah.
in my pocket.
I'm gonna see if I have anything.
Hmm. Let me think.
I have a unorthodox idea if nothing else works.
I- oh,
Uh,
I have. You
ahead.
can go first.
Oh no. I was just saying, Witz has like 2 bottles that he isn't using, so he was thinking of shattering them and using the glass pieces as a trail.
We can just run back to the dove coop and get the bag of seeds and just trail a bag of
The
seeds
poop.
behind us.
What if? Yeah. I was thinking like using druidcraft to like plant
Oh.
or grow like flowers or something along the hedge maze.
I'd
Oh,
allow
As
that'd
that.
be very
We've
distinct.
been.
I'd allow
That's
that.
way better.
How tall are the hedges?
About like 4 times your height.
They are
Gotcha.
tall.
They are massive.
Well, time to get a piece of paper out.
And so as you
Sure.
walk your way along that little path towards it, you can see that there is indeed an entrance to the maze here. And as you'll very quickly find, mazes are not really hard when you can just see them. But
I'm
Um,
confident in my ability.
Hang on, I'm gonna go through this like a normal AI would until I figure it
No,
out.
we're
Yeah.
zoomed.
the true
I'm
thing
zooming
is,
in all
you
the
zoom
way.
it,
You
you
can
zoom
just like keep
into,
along the left wall.
you zoom into like 203%, and then then you can't see anything. So as you arrive at these towering walls, there is a gap next to 2 glowing lanterns where you can enter. The hedges themselves are kind of twisted. As you take a look at them, you can kind of see thorny vines within them, as though if you attempted to perhaps move through the wall, it would probably not be a fun time. So Sequila, you wander your way into the maze and are greeted with a crossroads, a path to your left and to your right.
This way.
All right.
And so you begin to kind of wander your way through the maze. Civil and Null, you see the others begin to walk their way into it.
Squealy's walking with like his pike out in front of him, like as he rounds a corner, kind of, presenting it, like pointing towards the area, just in case anything jumps out at him.
Yeah, you cautiously make your way through.
Simple as she walks along, she kind of just like taps the hedge maze wall and grows small flowers, going just like each time.
Yeah, you sort of kind of you trail your hand along the edge of the maze wall there, and as you walk, flowers kind of begin to bloom in a line along behind you, marking where you guys have already walked. And you round sort of the side, you can see even above the hedges themselves, the keep itself actually towers even over the hedges, off to the east. And you kind of wind your way in between the hedge and sort of follow the grassy path that leads you to a few dead ends. Sequili,
Yep.
as you kind of round this area and are now faced with several different paths to go, you actually hear off in the distance voices talking. They appear to be coming from the south.
We're going south. Squealy hears something this way. Sounds like talking.
Do you think it's more ghosts, or could someone still be alive here?
If they alive, they no good. They bad news. You don't hang out in a dead castle.
Hope it's not
Sequili,
the central fog.
as you continue south, the voices grow a little bit louder and they begin to sharpen. You begin to understand what they are saying, and you actually recognize the language, Sequili, as you speak it. So too does Sybil and Lola. Wits, unfortunately, you're the only one who does not speak Sylvan in this party.
We find a dwarf, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Right, I'll add a dwarf somewhere later. um, but yeah, this is a very elfy campaign. Sorry.
And you know, I even was sitting for a backstory reasoning. I was like, I need to pick between either Elvish or Dwarven, and I
It's
sat
fine.
there for a bit, and I'm like, Dwarven.
It's fine. Languages aren't that important. But the
Yeah.
three of you recognize this language as Sylvan, and as you get a little bit closer, you're able to eavesdrop in on a conversation that appears to be occurring between two separate people. Their voices are kind of distant still, but you understand them as they say, "The madam told us to get back to work. So, why ain't you working?" And then a kind of thinner, reedier voice stutters its way in response. I was just, I was taking care of something. I don't care what you were taking care of. Get back to work. All right. And then you hear kind of this loud grating noise. It sounds sort of like stone against stone, Sequili. And it sort of rumbles and grinds for a couple seconds and then falls silent again. And then you just hear a soft, bloody annoying, and then nothing.
I'm gonna turn around to the group and like hold up a fist, like, you know, slow walking, and then I'm gonna attempt to walk slowly myself from here on.
Is this an attempt at a stealth roll?
It is with disadvantage.
Very well. Someone else can take the lead if they want to, but if you want to take the lead, then it will be a 2.
So Quilly told the group he was leading, so he's leading.
Yeah, you take a couple more steps down the path here, Sequili, and you step on a branch which cracks under your hooves, and then you hear in the distance, "Oh, did you hear that? Yeah, shh, did you hear that?" And then silence. What do you do? The rest of the party too.
I just stop moving and look back at Wits like pleadingly, like, what do I do?
Okay, do we go back in the maze and hide?
I was muted. Crap.
Well, say what you're gonna
Anyway.
say.
I was just holding, like, without saying anything, he's holding his bottle of lightning and pointing at it, like, with thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah, so Quilly just shrugs, like, you're gonna do it.
Supposed to encourage him, but okay.
Okay.
Actually, no, on second thought, no, it's not gonna do that.
So what's your plan then? As you have a few seconds to consider what you're going to do, as you just hear silence.
What if Witch this, like, misty step to the other side of the hedge?
Hold up a minute.
You gotta see.
Yeah, you do have to be able to see what you are teleporting to.
Do?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think that would probably be a very deadly spell if you didn't have to see it. You would get yourself killed very often. You would
That is
lodge
fair.
yourself within a wall.
You're telling me your step isn't just a no clip?
I mean, you can
yeah,
teleport in the air above the hedge.
here,
But you're gonna take some
What's-
fall damage.
Let's go cast message to Sequili and tell him, "Oh, yeah, I can turn invisible and go scout."
Squealy will nod to you.
Okay. Remember whenever I said Wits is somatic is his middle finger?
Indeed.
He's gonna flip off Sequili and then disappear.
Okay.
Okay, that's just an eyebrow raise from me. That's it.
Yeah, you vanish into nothing, Wits. So Sequila, you see Wits vanish from sight as he flips you the middle finger. What do you do, Sequila?
I'm just standing here waiting on the others to kind of catch up, or what? I don't know. Just keeping an eye, seeing what they're doing.
I mean, I think they were hiding back in the maze, but
Oh, okay. I'm just chilling here then. I mean, Wit said he was gonna get
Okay.
a sight on it.
very well then. Wits, what do you do?
I'm guessing Witch is gonna make a stealth roll to try not to make too much noise either when he comes around this way.
Yeah, very well. You're just standing still, so I wouldn't say that you really need to do too much.
Oh no, he's
Um,
gonna walk over there. I mean,
Okay, yeah. Just tell me where you're walking then.
he's gonna go like kind of down the hedge. Maybe brush on the side of Sequili, give him a little spook.
Very well. You brush past Sequili and make your way to down the path. Make a perception roll for me as you make your way down the path. All right. With 16, you can sort of hear the kind of soft crunch of footsteps in grass as you make your way. Footsteps that are not yours, coming from sort of the other side of the hedge. Do you continue?
Yep.
All right.
He's
Then you
gonna,
can
like slowly walk there.
Yeah, you kind of slowly creep your way along. And as you reach sort of about here and sort of peek your way around the hedge, you come face to face with a creature that stands at about maybe half your height width. It wears a large red cap on its head and has sort of very wily facial hair and a kind of a red glare to its eyes. And it carries a large kind of jagged looking spear. Well, large in comparison to it. To you, it would be more like it would be a little small to you, Wiz. But in comparison to it, it holds a large spear, and it's kind of just sort of looking back and forth, not looking at you, just sort of ever so closely, just kind of stepping a little bit closer to you as it walks. Again, just kind of scouring the environment, kind of squinting and looking around for whatever made that noise. And you kind of actually, as it makes its way closer to you, it speaks. It goes, "Oi! Better not be another one of you mean locks messing about, lazing off when you're supposed to be working."
Witch thinks in his hand, man, I have no idea what that guy's saying.
Yeah, you don't understand it, but Sequili, you get the bits and pieces of it as he kind of is almost shouting it. And he's just kind of casually he just takes like maybe like a step at a time and then waits and looks around step at a time. So he's kind of inching his way towards you. Wits, what do you do?
Well, if he doesn't really show any signs that he knows Wits is there, he'll kind of.
No, he's not looking remotely at you.
All right, he'll like move out of the way, make sure he doesn't run into him, and he'll kind of like look down. Find it. Yeah, this. He'll look down like this way to see what else is going on.
Yeah, you look around and you see that you've sort of emerged out of the hedge maze, Wits, as you turn that corner. You can see a very large kind of rocky cliff face to the south. And two lanterns sitting against it. A large gnarled tree, much like the one you saw in the front yard to the south, near the ghostly horse, is completely infected with this black mold, as well as another one of the small red caps on the far end, just sort of standing at attention, holding a similar looking little jagged spear. But in between those lanterns and what these red caps appear to be guarding is a large stone door. Make one more perception check for me, Wits, as you kind of squint to see the door better from this distance.
12.
Very well. With a 12, you notice as you squint a large insignia kind of embossed into the door itself, carved into the stone. And you recognize it because you've seen it before. It is the sigil of a tooth that you saw upstairs in the
I
manor.
was just about to ask, yeah.
It is identical. But other than that, you don't see any keyhole or anything like that. Just a large tooth.
What's like peek over here so you can get line of sight securely, and he'll cast message.
Very well.
Say, 2 short people armed with spears guarding a stone door, same as the one upstairs in the castle.
Using regular invisibility, right?
Yeah.
All right. I think you just reappeared.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure you can cast spells as long as it doesn't take concentration.
The spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell.
True. I will let you not message, since that was just sort of a
Okay.
technicality that you weren't aware of. I won't force you to reappear.
Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot something specifically.
If you know the spell wits, I would assume that you would be aware of that. So
Yeah.
I will just, you can't do the message, but I won't reveal you.
Which direction are these guys looking at right now?
This one's just kind of staring straight off ahead, standing watch, just kind of head on a swivel, looking back and forth, but not really looking at anything in particular. This one is kind of still creeping towards you again, and just kind of looking back and forth, squinting, kind of one hand up to its head, kind of looking for something. It kind of ducks its head and kind of tries to look under some of the hedges. It's clearly looking for something, as it. Well, I guess you didn't understand what it said, but it's clearly looking for something.
Okay.
But it doesn't appear to be able to find anything. It's not even remotely acknowledging your presence.
Witzel kind of wait for him to look not right at him. I try to find opportunity, and then whenever he does, he's gonna pick up a rock and toss it over here.
Okay, yeah, as he kind of swivels his head to one side and kind of tries to look under this hedge here, you quickly scoop up a rock and just kind of send it flying. And it kind of skitters across the grass and it hits sort of the brick of the manor over here. And you see him kind of quickly dart his head over to that side. And, what the bloody house? And he kind of, again, you don't understand what he said, but wanders his way over here to try to examine that.
Witz is gonna slowly move closer to the stone door and see if he can examine it more.
Yeah, you get a little bit closer, and again, you can see this other guy standing watch. There appears to be only 2 of them. And as you kind of get a little bit closer, you can actually see a little bit better. There appears to be sort of another exit to the hedge maze on the far side over there. Perhaps 2 ways to leave the hedge maze. But you get a little bit closer to the door itself. And again, as I said, you don't see any sort of mechanism to open it. No handle or anything like that. But as you do get closer, now Wits, you can see that there is, at sort of the center of the tooth, a very small keyhole at its center. And the door itself, from a distance this close, is pretty sturdy. You estimate that it would take quite a lot of force to break such a door. Clearly whatever is in here is relatively important or valuable. It looks identical to the door upstairs, down to the keyhole and everything.
Does this guy look like he has any keys on him?
Yeah, as you wander closer, you try to take a look at him. He does have some pouches, but you don't see a key ring at all. And you would have gotten a pretty decent look at the other guy too, so I'll say this guy also does not appear to have a key ring.
Alrighty then. Witz will make his way back. He saw that, like you said, but because he doesn't know the maze, he doesn't know how close it'd be to where they were. So he's gonna slowly walk back to where Sequilla is.
Yeah, you duck your way back towards the entrance to the hedge maze. This fellow's still kind of rooting around in the corner. There's some bushes over in the corner that he's kind of poking his spear into. And you kind of hear him muttering to himself, though you don't understand the language. And you duck your way back into the hedge maze where you see Sequili, and around the corner Sybil waiting for you.
Let's just be like, "Psst, Sequili, I'm here." There are two very short people out there. They both have spears that are, well, they're like your spear, but like jagged and about a third of the length. And they're guarding a stone door with a tooth sigil or insignia, same as the one upstairs, and it has a keyhole.
Friendly?
I can't say for sure.
Make an insight check, Wits. You got a good look at them. All right, 14. These were the most unfriendly looking motherfuckers you've ever seen. They have gnarled teeth. They have red glowing eyes. They have jagged looking spears. And as you got closer to that one, Wits, you're pretty sure you smelled a very strong stench of blood. These were not friendly people.
Okay, but we don't know who they are. They could just look me.
They looked mean.
All right. Well, they certainly looked like you wouldn't have a party with them. So I'd say no, not friendly.
Come.
So you guys tuck your way kind of back around the corner of the hedge maze, a little bit further away from those two red caps.
Yeah, just moving to where I don't have to talk in like a low voice. Well,
Yeah, for sure.
not as low.
Yeah, you still kind of keep it down. You're not shouting it, obviously, but enough that you can kind of talk amongst yourselves without alerting anything. Get a bit of distance between you and the two guards.
We're just gonna hold a rock so everyone knows where he is, so he doesn't have to lose his, so he doesn't have to recast.
Yeah,
invisibility if we need it.
just a floating little rock. Very well. So Wits fills the
Tell
rest of
them.
you in on what he saw. Unless you want to summarize it, you don't have to, but you fill everybody else in on what exactly you saw from around the corner of the hedge maze. So the rest of you are aware of everything that I just told. And so, Sequili, you did hear bits and pieces of the conversation that was happening, so you do know what that one red cap was saying the whole time.
I guess I just want to find out what the party wants to do here. Should we
But
keep going? Deal with little ones?
Well, if going north back there was to lead us to the first key, I feel like going down here to the south would lead us to the other key, to the door. Especially, what language were they speaking?
Sylvan.
Sylvan.
Ah,
you don't speak Sylvan? Embarrassing.
you can't turn invisible? He throws the rock at Lola.
Oh, really? I can't turn invisible, you bitch. I whispered it so it doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
But like,
Just say it in Sylvan. He can't even understand it.
I was going on a long tangent of all those cuss words in Sylvan.
you put like a you put like half of the amount you normally put in your swear jar.
Only half goes in. Okay.
But
I'm thinking maybe we try to. You said they look mean. Okay. What if we just interrogate them, you know? We murder one just to show that we don't get messed with.
They
And we
weren't
interrogate the weak one.
They weren't talking about others who are working with them. And although they might not be within earshot, it's also possible that they might get reinforcements. Or at least I'm worried about that.
Yeah, the third voice that you heard earlier, that kind of reedy voice, didn't really appear to have been coming from either of those guys, and so there was evidently someone else there. The other red cap also made reference to the fact that there were other people out there.
Then maybe should kill these first, while they're not with others.
What if I
Yeah.
just walk up and say, hey?
Well, we could definitely interrogate one of them, because after all, I didn't see any key rings. So if we kill them both, we might have no way of getting into the door, unless if someone happens to walk out.
Are we kidnapping? Are we kidnapping one of them?
Well, not kidnapping. I guess temporarily. But I mean, we're not gonna keep him.
So we're going.
Probably not.
Actually, Lola,
Sounds like-
let me get this straight. You're okay with killing people, but you're not okay with kidnapping people.
Well, kidnapping, they have to live with being kidnapped. I mean, killing them, you just kill them. They don't gotta live with being killed. They're killed. You know?
That
Okay,
is
so we'll kidnap them.
True.
interesting logic.
Big brain here. I'm
don't
thinking
wanna-
I'm just gonna walk up, I'm gonna say hey, and if things go bad, I'm gonna run.
Mhm.
But they might y'all just be ready to murder. Y'all
Yeah.
just be ready to murder.
Lola, they're gonna be ready to murder no matter what. I'm pretty sure of that.
Do you think are we all in condition where fighting
No, we are not.
So Quilly is.
I can take at least one good hit. Death kill. Oh, we're not murdering death kill, Dad. Stop.
I mean, I'll just stay invisible. Y'all can have fun, I guess.
Sybil's standing very gingerly on
Well-
her bleeding wolf wounded leg.
Well, we have the
Spell
element of
slots.
surprise, of course. So, I mean, we could definitely use that to our advantage.
So
Mhm.
Quilly feels great. Can run in first, distract. Then you move in good position.
I could definitely get behind one of them before you initiate your attack.
I'm gonna go this way.
Yeah, which one?
Everyone get in
Well,
position.
There was one of them, actually. Yeah, I guess which would have noticed that this one looks like he's got that headdress, or like the skull on the head.
This
That
one
one's
just sounds like a pushover.
I'm trying to figure out which one is more important. They might be equal importance. So I guess it doesn't matter which one we try to.
Whichever
interrogate.
one dies first is the one we are not keeping.
Yeah, I have an idea. Since I'm already invisible, I can take one of them out real quick, and then we can ambush the other one and try to.
Oh god.
I think you should make sure you have immediate support from Sakili because, no offense, Wits, but you're about as
You're squishy, man.
to damage as an egg.
They can't see this because Wits and all of his items are invisible, but he's holding the bottle of lightning in his hand. He's like restraining himself from throwing it straight down.
We don't know what you mean.
Look, if I can get behind them, I'm invisible. I've done this plenty of times. It'll be easy.
Right. Wits gets into position.
I'll just
Squilly
kill-
hide around the bush. As soon as you see one person go bloop, then you move in.
Also, Lola, can you peek around? Oh, here, Wits is gonna. Damn it, he's still invisible.
I don't know what peek around which one.
He's holding like a rock, and he's kind of like trying to point it over here. Like, can you peek around that hedge over there and see where that leads? Because I saw another exit to the hedge maze when we were here, and I want
If
to know
y'all
where it
hear a
leads.
scream, that means that they saw me.
I think I'm gonna go for this side with you. The way it's kind of equaled out more.
Oh,
What?
it's an opening.
All right, yeah. So if y'all want, I guess I can sneak up behind, because one guy is over on that side, and the other one.
What
is-
fucking side is he talking about?
He's pointing the rock this whole time.
I just see two little pebbles doing little backflips around each other.
God, this is so painful not being able to use Mage Hand while I'm invisible.
It's like, is it like the left or?
Which will like walk and be like, see
The
the
rocks are
rock?
getting close.
See the rock?
I don't see the fucking rock.
Yeah?
I have bad eyesight.
All right, Lola. I'm not talking to you anymore. Seville.
Fuck you,
Yes.
Sybil. Frick you, Sybil.
Ah!
No,
What?
not Sybil. Fuck. I was looking at you. I saw your head. You're the only person I can see. Tell him to say.
All right.
Tell him F you. Say it for me.
You can tell him he's invisible, but you have a voice.
Ooh, floating rock. Ooh. You see rock over here?
I'm gonna smack
This-
that fucking rock.
This entrance over here. There's one over here, and then the other one that Sequili and I went down earlier. That's where the other one is. So if y'all can be ready to attack him, we can go deal with the guy on the other side.
Yes.
Does that sound good?
Mhm.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, cool.
I have
Ooh,
no idea what the fuck he was talking about.
Which just drops the rock and then walks away.
Okay, so the two of you kind of creep your way off to the other path that was very inelegantly explained to you to potentially lead to another exit of the maze. And you peek around the side of this hedge here, Lola. You can see that actually it does in fact seem to lead to this path. You can kind of see parts of the cliff face off in the distance and some trees as the path leaves the maze. Though from this angle you're not able to see the other red cap.
I got a question, Jay.
Yep.
So I heard the voices on the other side there, right? While they were
Yeah,
talking.
they came kind of directly in front of you from that kind of direction.
Okay, so then second question, like this hedge, how is it just plant matter? Is there like a wall in between it, or technically, like what I'm asking is, if I rolled like a good strength roll, could I like run through it and just burst out the other side?
It's
So
it's not
dramatic.
it's not necessarily, it's thicker in some areas than it is in others. This one you can kind of see a little bit of light on the other side of it, so it's not particularly thick right there where you're pointing. But you can see sort of within the actual hedge itself a twist of kind of briar, sharp, thorny vines. So you estimate that you probably could charge through it with some sort of strength roll, but it might not be the most comfortable thing in the world to do. So possible, but you might take some damage.
God, it sounds so cool though.
Does sound cool as well.
Do it for the cool points.
Yeah, I think I'm going to. So how am I supposed to know when Wits is ready?
That does
That does change
Make-
things because I thought you were gonna try to
make a
sneak up
bird
to
sound.
here. too.
Scream of a pained
okay.
red cap?
Well, if Witch
Tweet,
does
tweet.
this right, he could probably here. All right, Sequili, one or two things are gonna happen. Either I'm gonna come sneaking back and I'll tell you it's okay, or you'll hear a guy screaming and then that's your time.
Hmm.
Whichever
Yeah,
happens.
So Quilly's just like pawing his hoof at the ground, like getting ready to charge.
Which is doesn't want to stand in front of him anymore. Right. Do. It's a casual day in another dimension. Do.
You wind your way back around to the other exit of the maze, Wits. And peek back around. You can see the other one kind of now. He was sort of poking around that bush, but now he's kind of stood back up again. And doesn't appear to have found what he was looking for, so he's kind of turning back towards the other one and kind of starting to walk his way back past you. Again, he's not looking at you, he's looking back towards the door.
Whenever he walks past Witch right here, he's gonna
Yeah.
take another rock and throw it over there.
Yeah, so he walks kind of right past you about there, and then you quickly chuck another rock and it skitters against the thing. And this time he just kind of turns and you see him just sort of place one of his hands against his hip. And you see him squint and kind of look off in that direction. And again, he mutters another something in Sylvan that you can't understand. And then he just kind of, you see him give a little bit of a, he shrugs and makes his way back. So he begins to walk back towards the other one. Is there anything you want to do with?
Witch is gonna throw a rock at him.
Okay.
Not to try to like do damage, just to get him to turn the fuck around.
Make a ranged attack roll against him.
Alright,
Just use your
dagger, I guess, like the same as.
Yeah, just use your dagger.
Oh! Oh my god! a crit.
All right, we're just gonna use improvised weapons. So just roll a d4 crit.
I think. Even a
Um,
10. He waited it. He meant to throw like a small rock just to get his attention, and now he's actually doing damage.
just roll a d4 with the crit.
Okay, so that's 2d4.
Yeah.
All right. I already forgot the command. It's /R.
Yeah, or slash roll.
Okay.
All right, so as he kind of turns back, you hear kind of those mutters of frustration. He kind of gives up on hunting around and turns back to make his way towards the other red cap in front of the door. And you just quickly pick up another rock and you just, like a baseball pitcher, just throw it right at the back of his head as hard as you can. And it slams into the back of his head, kind of hitting where his hat lies. And you just kind of see it kind of quickly knock his head forward. And he kind of brings one of his hands quickly up to the back of his head. To kind of grab the spot where it hit him. And you can sort of see blood dripping along where his hat is. Just sort of soaking part of the hat. And he quickly...
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You can finish if you want.
I was going to ask if he cried out.
Yeah, I imagine he would if he was so suddenly smashed in the back of the head with a rock. He just kind of what? And he
Yeah, that's going to trigger Sequili then. He's just taking off running once he hears that cry. Because Wit said something about hearing a guy yell over there is, to, initiate.
I am okay with this outcome.
So I guess I'm going to charge forward then. Let's see, do I make a strength to get through there, or athletics, or what do you want me to do?
Yeah, make a strength roll. Which I will add that does count as attacking someone this time.
14.
Yeah, 14 will do it. But you're going to take... Where did the dice go? There it is. You're going to take 8 piercing as you rip yourself through these vines, and you feel them kind of sink into parts of your arms and shoulders.
Worth it. And I'm just going to explode out the other side with my pike aimed forward, and then we can handle whatever from there.
Yeah, you run right at this guy. I'll let you just act right now because you got the jump on this dude. He sort of glanced over to look at his buddy who just yelled out, and so he's not looking at you at all as you charge straight through the hedge.
Yeah, so I was using my charge. I moved.
Yeah, you can make an
30 feet.
attack. I'll give you advantage on it.
Okay. That's a 19.
All right, that hits.
Alright, and I get, is it okay to do my hooves too? Because that's like part of my charge thing.
Yeah.
I get like a hooves
Yeah,
attack
yeah,
as a
full
bonus?
turn.
Okay. Let me double check. Charge, move 30 feet, move melee, and make the hooves attack as a bonus action. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll the charge.
Very well.
I would assume first attack would be advantage because of the surprise. Second attack would be. So
Yeah,
10
I'd
will
say
probably miss.
no to the second one, yeah.
Alright, yeah, so just come through, stab them, and then rear up and try to kick them and miss.
Very well.
And that'll be me.
Alrighty. So the two are kind of caught quite off guard, with Sequili charging through the bush to attack this one, and the other one who kind of spun to turn his attention back to Wits, but now all of a sudden he hears something behind him, which you see him quickly glance behind him too, not really sure where to turn his attention to, as now he's got presumably foes on both sides. He's still kind of clutching his head there, but he's got the spear in the other hand. So this will be an initiative roll for everybody. Sybil and Lola, you can make them too, even though you technically haven't joined the fight yet.
Oh, I'm I am sorry. Oh my gosh.
That was 3 rolls. We'll use the first one.
Yeah.
So
Sybil got excited.
You'll be in 18.
I thought it wasn't working.
This is an okay, but not intended outcome.
6 and so Queely got a 19 and Lola with a 16. Okay. So that places us into combat. Though it is a bit more of a unique style of combat. So let's get a combat theme going. So as you charge through the bush and catch these creatures by surprise, they quickly wheel around and realize that they are under attack. But that one did not roll very well. So Lola and Sybil, the two of you have not entered this fight yet. And by that I mean the foes do not know that you are here. So for your first turn, I will allow you to insert yourselves into the turn order wherever you want, and then the next round after you will lock into your initiative roll. So you can choose to wait behind the bushes and get in there later, or enter at your initiative order right now. If you want to postpone your turn is what I mean. But first to act is actually Sequili, so you get another turn right now.
Alright. I want to...
The one in front of you is kind of bleeding from a wound along its side where you stabbed him and charged right into him, but he still looks pretty healthy.
Yeah, I want to... I want to try my Channel Divinity, because I haven't used it, like, ever. I'm just trying to decide which one to do here. So Nature's Wrath is it's like a restrain. I want to try to turn the Faithless. So if they fail their Wisdom save, they're turned for 1 minute if they're Fae or Fiend. Everything within 30 feet.
Okay. So that would be
so it's a
that'd be both.
DC 11 Wisdom save. So
Alright.
Quilly's going to hold up his amulet and it's going to glow green. And he's going to say, "Stay back, foes. Athar will protect me."
The one directly in front of you saves. The one in the distance does not.
Alright, then he is turned for 1 minute or until he takes damage.
Very well. So he is incredibly startled by this sudden appearance, and is not particularly happy about the sudden combat he's been thrust into. If that is all you're doing on your turn, Sequili.
Yeah, I think that's all I can do. I don't think I can
Then,
bonus attack because I didn't attack.
then technically right now it is your turn, Sybil. But you're not officially in combat. The enemies do not know you're here. So if you wish, you can delay your turn to whenever you want during this round. Otherwise, you can choose to act now if you wish.
Okay. So Sybil's going to, I think, come in now and
Okay.
move forward.
All right, you move forward a little bit, and you kind of, Sequili, you see this one's eyes kind of quickly snap over to there to notice that there's another one.
Sorry, I'm on touchpad right now.
No worries, it's all good.
What? Okay, and she's going to use Thorn Whip.
Very
Oh,
well.
nice.
Yeah, you quickly whip out a vine at this one, and that will hit him for 2 piercing. And are you?
She is not trying to pull him back right now,
Very well.
unless it'd be helpful for Sakili.
You can do whatever you want. I'm good.
Okay. I think I'd rather him remain out of hitting distance.
All right. Then you choose not to pull him. Instead, just wrapping the thorny vine around him and then releasing it. And you can kind of see some bloody areas along his arm where that hit him so clearly. But he's still kicking. Anything else, Sybil?
She's also going to activate Shillelagh on her staff.
Very well. All right. Then if that is the end of your turn, we move around to this fellow here in front of Sequili, who is going to attempt to stab you with his little spear, his jagged-looking spear there. All right. So that will actually be a hit, Sequili.
I'm a big target.
And so,
Especially to him. He's like
Yes,
half
indeed.
the normal height.
yeah, they're not particularly tall. They're about kind of dwarf height. So that will be 9 piercing as he stabs you, Sequili. And then make a con save for me.
Ten.
You got a 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Then he wrenches this jagged spear back out of you, and you feel like your wound's kind of bleeding a little heavier than it might normally. But otherwise, no effects.
Okay. Mhm.
And
one's
then
hurt.
he kind of pivots around you, Sequili, to bring himself kind of against the edge of this hedge here, out of sight of Sybil. And that will be the end of his turn, which brings us to Lola's turn. Like Sybil, you can choose, as the enemies do not know you are here, Lola, you can choose to delay your turn if you wanted to, or you can choose to act now.
Yeah, I'm gonna act now.
Very
I'm
well.
just gonna run up in here.
Yeah, so you charge out, and now rounding the corner can see the 2 red caps.
Ooh. I'm gonna slide right between. I'm gonna look him in the eyeball. I'm gonna whisper. You look like a used tampon.
That would
Ugh.
almost certainly not be a thing that makes any sense to anyone in this universe.
You look like a used cloth.
Better. But not quite as cutting, but better. So is there anything you're doing along with that, or?
No, I'm just sliding in. I'm just looking at him like, I'm just doing my vicious mockery, and that was it.
Are you vicious mockerying him, or are you just
Yep.
saying that to him?
No, I'm vicious mockerying.
Oh, okay. I was because you
I'm
just
just saying it to say it.
you just said it. I wasn't sure if you were just trying to insult him or if you were actually using a cantrip. All right, so wisdom save then.
Yep.
Very well. What? That's what it is. Okay. That is a 3, so he fails it.
He gets 1 point of psych damage.
If you rolled higher damage, you could have just said, you're short.
Sure.
And he
Wow.
does also have disadvantage on his next attack roll that he makes before the end of his next turn. So we're just gonna add that little.
It's only 1 psychic damage because he didn't understand what a tampon
Yeah,
is.
it took him too long to figure out what a tampon is. He's like,
Lola doesn't even know what a tampon is. They don't exist.
it's a used cloth.
Very well. So if that's the end of your turn, Lola,
Mm-hmm.
then it is now this fellow's turn here.
Run, boy, run.
Indeed, he is not particularly happy about the situation he has been thrust into.
I think that icon makes me think he has a concussion from the rock.
A little bit of that too, maybe mixed in. So I'm trying to determine where exactly he would try to go. You guys have kind of boxed them in here.
Just go open the door.
Um,
Oh wait, he can't move towards me, so yeah.
Quick, run away from the door.
I think he'll probably move about here-ish. Kind of ducking down in between the tree here, and I think he's just gonna take the dodge action. He doesn't really have a lot of places to go.
Yeah. Just cowers.
Yeah, he just kind of ducks down next to this tree and cowers. So I need to remind myself that this fellow has dodge. That's good enough. All right. So that'll be his turn. Which brings us to Wits. So the fellow who was kind of turning angrily back towards you is now cowering over by the tree, Wits. So what are you going to do on your turn?
I'm going to terrify him even more, so I'm going to move. Hey, wait, he's right here. Let me grab the wrong tool. Boop, boop, boop. Now let's move right here. Let's move right here. And Wits is going to use Minor Illusion to make a copy of this guy right here.
A copy of himself? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes. I
Okay.
want this guy to feel psychological horror before we interrogate him. I'll put him right here.
Right there?
Yeah, and make him like looking at him like very angrily.
Spider-Man meme?
Yeah.
He just does not know what to think. He's sort of in a state of panic from both suddenly being attacked and Sequeli's turning. And so he just kind of stares kind of jaw agape at the image of himself. And just what you hear kind of muttering something kind of startled, but again, you're not able to understand it.
Making a consideration.
Is that all you're doing, Wits?
I've considered. I'm not gonna do it. I was gonna use another charge on the gloves to make 2 more.
Could do that, yeah.
Just really, really mess this guy's brain up. However, I only have 1 charge left, so I'm not gonna do him yet.
Very well.
Minor illusion, could you do something like make their faces melt?
Not with Minor Illusion. That'd have to be a
Aw.
second thing. But that would be really funny.
So that brings us back to Sequeli at the top of the turn order.
Well, this boy gutted me pretty good, so I'm gonna try to do the same to him.
Very well.
So stab him with the pipe.
All right.
That rolled twice for some reason, but I missed anyway.
You did indeed miss.
All right,
So you
I'm gonna...
attempt to stab at him, but he knows the ways of the spear and he dodges out of the way of your thrust.
Yeah, and I was gonna bonus action, but since I rolled twice, we'll just take that d20 anyway. So I missed my bonus.
Very well.
That's my turn.
All right. Then that brings us to Sybil. So the one that you whipped with your thorn whip kind of ducked around the side of the hedge there, so he's actually kind of out of your sight, Sybil.
Not for much longer. Okay, so she's gonna...
Yeah, you move in, you can see him again.
Okay, yeah. So she's gonna move right up to him, and with her staff now enchanted, attempt to smack him in the face with it.
16 hits. Roll your damage.
Nice.
All right. You smash him once more across the head. You actually shatter that little skull headdress he's wearing, and it cracks and kind of falls off of his hat. and you see blood now trickling down kind of around his eyes from the wound you just gave him. He's breathing heavily. He's got kind of a wild look in his eyes, but he's still standing. Anything else?
I believe that will be it.
Very well. So the creature here is going to attempt to stab 1, 2, and 3. He's going to attempt to stab Sequili, as he now has a plethora of targets. Actually, this works
Bring it.
out. Sequili, you are actively bleeding from his stab wound that he gave you initially. That will give him advantage on the hit, but Lola will cancel that, so this will be a normal roll.
Interesting.
So Lola is canceling out the advantage he would have, and it will be now just a standard d20 roll.
Ah, the vicious mockery.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Lola is canceling out any advantage he would have this turn, and so the one stab that he makes at you misses.
Okay.
And that will be his turn. So it is now Lola's turn.
Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna run around to the side.
Oh
You know
my
what? I
Lanta.
think I just shh. Shh. I have voices in my head. I'm just gonna go give him a little stab.
You stab at him with your short sword, and that is a hit. So roll your damage. Come up behind him
Yay.
and stab at him and give him another 6 piercing damage as you sink your blade into his side. And he cries out again once more, and now he's kind of bleeding heavily from multiple wounds, surrounded on all sides as he kind of swivels his head, not sure what target to focus on. And he is still alive, but he is looking very badly wounded.
Alright. And I'm gonna healing word Sequili. Ugh.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh,
Well,
thank
that's
you.
enough to help your little wound there.
It is appreciated.
All right. Sequili, as you receive the healing, not only do you heal, she actually does indeed stop that bleeding from her healing magic.
Oh, nice.
And so you
No,
feel
she was
that
bleeding
you
out
feel
there.
that wound that just would not stop bleeding, it does actually now stop. So if that is the end of your turn,
Yes.
then that brings us back to this fellow here. I think this is sort of like a combination of some interesting things that you guys pulled on him. So I think we're gonna improvise a little bit, go off the rules as written. Since you guys have kind of pulled both surprise attack, turn the faithless, and tricking him with an illusion, we're gonna combine those all into some rolls on his behalf. So I'm gonna make
See how brave this soul is.
2 rolls behind the DM screen. He fails the first one, so he is not aware that this is an illusion wits, and he thinks it is somehow his own conscience come to confront him. And then he rolls a 2 on the second roll, so he fails both of the ones. I was having him make an intelligence to see if he would figure out if that's an illusion, and then I was having him make a constitution to see how he deals with the fact that his conscience has confronted him right now. And so on a fail on both of those rolls, he actually throws his spear down and surrenders. No more, I don't want any of this, And he kind of continues to cower down behind the tree here.
Oh, how'd you know? I had so many ideas and intimidated him after this one.
The other one just kind of sees him shouting out and just grunts. The 3 of you can understand him in Sylvan, just coward, and he grips his spear tightly. So that'll be his turn. He surrenders. Wits, it's now your turn.
God, I wish he speaks Sylvan right now. He's gonna yell obscenities at this guy.
He's a little bit
Um,
focused, so he's not really going to respond to any of that. Because they do, in fact, speak common as well.
Okay. Oi, are you gonna surrender too? He's gonna like yell that to him since he, just in the hopes that he speaks common since he doesn't actually know.
He grunts back in Sylvan, but he did understand what Wits said. He just kind of grunts it back, not super loud to everybody, but just grips that spear tightly and just never.
Oi, what do you say, Lola?
He said, "Go f yourself."
All right, Lola, could you kindly watch out, please?
My duck.
Duck.
Witzel cast Ray of Frost on him.
Very well.
If I can find it. Yep. God damn it! I'm doing so bad with Ray of Frost today.
We're having fun with this fight. Let's keep having fun. Sybil, make a dex save for me.
To keep having fun.
Oh my gosh, please fail it.
I'm
Oh.
improvising. I'm improvising to your benefit, so let's improvise to your detriment as well. That'll be a success. I don't think you have a 15 save on any of your spell saves, do you, Wits?
Yeah.
No, it's 13.
Yeah, you're 13. Okay, so she saves then. So you quickly duck as well as this bolt of blue light goes right over your head, Sybil. But you do not manage to hit anybody, Wits. Is that all?
No.
Very well.
I don't know. Since this guy's surrendered, Witch is just gonna sit down and look through his book.
Very well. So Queely, it's your turn now.
He's like, "You guys got this."
I want to push this dude down on the ground, but I think I'm just gonna stick with the stabs.
He looks heavily wounded. He's bleeding all over, and he's breathing heavily. But he's gripping that spear tightly, and he looks ready to fight.
Yeah, we got them all ganged up here. I'm gonna continue with the stabs. So that should hit.
Good roll.
That doesn't need to
20?
hit. Yeah, roll your damage. All right.
Ooh, nice.
Very good rolls.
Then you stab kind of clean through his chest, and he just sort of hacks up a bunch of blood, and then falls to the ground.
Alright, I'll yank my pike out of his chest, and I just kind of flick it off to the side, get the blood off.
Indeed.
And then look over here and see what the hell is going on.
Well, you see two identical red caps, and one of them is sort of cowering up against a tree, nestled kind of between a tree and a cliff, kind of holding his head and clutching his knees tightly to his chest.
But this one isn't doing the same.
That one's just sort
Correct.
of standing normally, facing the one that's cowering.
What's your save for minor illusion wits?
13.
Or what do I need to roll? 13 what?
13 on wisdom, I believe. Yeah. Wow. Impressive.
New one seems not real. And then I'll just move here in my turn.
So you guys are out of the combat order because this guy surrendered and the other one's dead. So you don't need to move in turns anymore.
All right, little friend.
This one's just kind of clutching his knees and sitting on the grass and just kind of rocking back and forth. Just again, Wits, you can't understand him, but the others can understand as he just kind of, no more. I don't want any of this. I'm just a guard.
So Quilly takes out his rope out of his pack and just like fashions it into a lasso and just begins like swinging it around his head. Do I need to roll something to lasso this dude?
As you kind of start to pull the rope out and stuff and kind of fashion it. And you don't need to even throw it. You can just kind of loop it around him if you want, because he's just kind of like, yeah, all right, fair enough. Just don't kill me. Just don't kill me.
All right, then I'm just gonna loop it around him and just begin coiling the rope around him while our squad does whatever.
Yeah, is there any particular way you're binding him up? Just like one big rope all the way around him, or hands and feet, or what are you doing?
I'm not doing feet. I figure there's enough of us around here that can catch him if he tries to take off, but definitely arms pinned down to his side, like to where his hands aren't able to do anything.
Yeah, so you managed to tie him up, and he's now just sort of sitting on the grass and restrained.
Okay.
Would you make the illusion disappear?
Can ask questions now, if want.
Oh, I don't speak his language. That's all you guys.
Indeed.
So clearly just looks to Sybil and Lola.
Why are you here? Everybody else in the manor's dead, but you're not, and also not an elf.
Yeah, he just kind of like, he's still kind of rocking back and forth as he's now tied up and restrained, but he's just, yeah, we're not elves. We're not elves. No, not elves.
No, it's not. What's? I think you ruined him too much.
Do you need to fix him too?
No, I mean mentally.
Well, I could do that too.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Witz will use his feature to cast Charm Person on him.
Okay.
And he doesn't take a spell slot because of the feature.
Indeed.
And hoping he speaks common too, because hey, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. You're not gonna die.
Oh.
Yeah, what's the save on that? He's I'm gonna give him
It's,
disadvantage on it.
It is a 12.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him disadvantage for Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, he fails it. So he kind of calms down a little bit, stops the rocking, and he's still kind of eyeing all of you warily, but he no longer feels as though his impending death is coming. So he's now breathing a little more steadily. If you want to ask him something and get a more clear answer.
Which, if you have questions, Soquili will translate.
All right. Do you have the where's this door lead to? And he'll point over at that door.
Tell the little human where the door leads now.
He continues to talk in Sylvan, but he does understand what Witz is saying. And he just sort of quickly glances over at the door and just to the mold gardens, to the mold gardens.
Mold gardens, he says.
All right. Do you have the keys to get us in?
No, don't have the key. Don't have the key.
This one does not have key, he says.
Then who does?
Boss.
His boss.
Was that your boss over there? And he'll like point at this one.
No. Let's just see at the guard.
Not boss.
All right. Then where's your boss?
He's inside the mold gardens.
Past door.
Is there any way for you to be able to contact him? Is there some sort of knock or something that he can recognize?
He'll never open it.
Not clear answer, but says no way to get in. Boss won't open.
Well, then why are you protecting it?
For whenever it does open, but we don't control that.
Just doing his job.
I'm gonna
When
refer
would
back
it
to-
open?
Alright, go ahead. No, you're fine. I was saying something out of character.
Huh? Oh. Well, when does the door open?
Whenever the boss wants to, and well, the boss follows orders from the madam.
Yeah, I think we know who Madam is. Who's the boss, though?
Give us a name.
The boss. He just sort of kind of cocks his head as if he doesn't even understand how you don't know him. You don't know the boss? It's a
Let's
big
see
name
if
around
he's
here.
the boss. Well, we're not from round here, so could you humor us a little bit?
He's the Tooth Fairy, of course.
What? I'm sorry.
That's just a left field answer. I'm not gonna lie. Like of all things that I could have thought he was gonna say, that was not on the list.
That was the goal.
The Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
You work for the Tooth Fairy. You're a little help.
Well,
I mean,
Hello, Tooth Fairy helper.
I mean that's what they call him. Yeah.
well, I guess that makes sense with the tooth and all and everything.
Yeah. He pulls out the teeth of all the people that he kills.
Oh, less funny now.
Oh, that's a neat gimmick he's got there.
I get a very different
Huh.
image of the Tooth Fairy for my
Me, I'm thinking tutu, you know? I'm thinking like a little like corset action happening.
leaving little gifts for kids under their pillows.
Yeah, you know?
No, nothing like that. He's in charge of the mold gardens.
What?
Well, I guess every killer's got to have his gimmick.
What purpose do the mold gardens serve? Are they just something enjoyable
The-
for the
the-
mistress to walk
ma-
first?
The madam wanted us to grow it, so we grow it.
Oh, sorry. I had a. Oh yeah, mold. Of course, it's mold.
Yep.
Yep.
I thought we were saying mole, like the little moles, you know?
That would be a lot more pleasant.
The mole.
That'd be
garden.
cute.
The
we
mole
grow,
garden.
we grow the moles.
Where is Madam?
I don't know.
Who is Madam?
That's just what we call it. We mostly just work through the boss. Only he talks to her.
No, nobody's names.
I imagine
Where's
We
she's
just work for
she's
these people.
probably in the mansion if she's here.
Oh.
Wits.
Oh.
You conjure Beira image?
Oh, yeah, sure. Is this the madam you're talking about? And he'll make the minor illusion the picture of Beira in front of him.
He shrugs. I don't know. I never met her.
That's strange.
Hmm.
Like I
Follow-up
said,
question.
we just do everything the boss tells us to. He's the
Follow-up
one who meets
question.
with her.
Is this what your boss looks like? And he'll make the bust of. Forgot his name.
Vincent. Vincent.
Yeah, Vincent. Yeah.
No. Well, no, that is.
I'm confused. You said the mistress lives in the mansion, but the
I assume so, but we don't really
talk to.
we don't really go much in there. We just she makes us boss makes us do repairs on her behalf sometimes, but that's about it.
Well, are there any other gods that guard this? You can't be guarding this door the whole time.
Yeah, there's others, but they're inside.
The mold gardens or the mansion?
Mold gardens.
All right. So, how much longer are you on guard duty?
Till the door opens.
When was the last time the door opened? Well,
he just looks up
I-
and kind of like squints, and you see him just kind of moving his mouth. 14 days?
14 days.
Yeah.
And how long did it take for the door to open before that?
Well, I don't know. Again, when the boss tells me to do something, I'll do it.
Didn't we hear the door open when we were behind the hedges earlier?
I suppose, yeah, if you want to refer to that time, but that wasn't really like shift change or anything like that, if that's what you're
Yeah.
asking. I assumed you meant
Um,
shift change.
Yeah. All right, then. Well, then what was the boss? What was your boss out here doing then? When the door opened not long ago.
Yeah, it was just letting in one of the mean locks.
What's a mean lock?
Little fellow, ugly. Use them as workers. But they're bloody lazy. Always have to be kicked back into shape.
Lola having fun looting over there.
You
We
can
done
loot.
with questions.
You can loot that one if you want. If you want to take a brief. If you need to think of questions and you want to loot the other guy.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
Okay, Lola, if you want to poke around in this guy's pockets, he's got kind of some like that kind of half cracked skull now that was affixed to his headdress lying next to him, and then he also has another kind of bone that was also attached to that. But you rummage through his pockets and you find no keys. He does not hold a key.
I'm gonna
and-
poke his dead eyeball.
Instead, you find 7 gold pieces, and a few kind of smaller, perhaps maybe animal bones that are just kind of rattling around in his pockets. And you also find, kind of on his belt, what appears to be a small little like water skin, that is full of some sort of liquid.
I'm gonna take that water skin.
Um,
Here you go with. Here you go. It's for you.
why are you giving
I
it
got
to me?
you. I got you a gift.
You gave his dead friends a water skin.
Who are you giving that to? Sorry, to
With
to Wits or to?
no Wits. Here you go, Wits. This is for you.
All right, Wits, you are past a small leather water skin full of some sort of liquid.
Thanks.
He'll know if it's alcohol. He can sniff it. He can tell by the
Ooh.
weight of the water skin if it's alcohol or not.
Which is like
Can
stares
he?
at it for a second. He says that for a second. I'm like, whiskey. 2 years old, 35%. He just-
Are you popping the cork to smell it?
No. He's
Okay.
gonna put it. He's gonna put it like I guess on his belt loop or whatever.
Yeah,
for
you can
now.
fasten them to your belt loop, or you can tuck them away into your bag, whatever you want.
Anyway, have you been inside the mansion?
Just briefly for repairs, like I said.
Well, what did you repair?
In the down by the wine cellar, there was a wall that was sort of half broken.
So Soquili went to stab.
Do you have any keys on you for the house?
Okay, I was about to say, which is about to pat him down for any keys.
No, we don't really go in there much. Just when the boss tells us to go. I don't have any keys.
Mm.
Which is still gonna pat him down anyway for any keys.
Yeah, you pat him down, and he wasn't lying. He doesn't have any keys, but he does have some gold like the other one, and then an identical water skin full of a liquid. He has 9 gold pieces.
Which will let him keep that 9 gold.
What? That's not the Wits I know.
The only alive people which like to steal from are rich ones. Although judging by Sequili's stance, I don't know how much longer this guy's gonna be alive.
Yeah. That's fair.
Listen. I helped you out, right? So we can just put the past behind us, and I'll just go on my merry way.
To your boss to tell him that there's
That there's one
Trespasser.
very handsome man and 3 other people out here.
Yeah, Soquili's just smiling and shaking his head slowly. No.
All right. Better plan. Just leave me here. I'll be fine.
I'm to the tree.
Yeah,
Mm,
did you
good
do you help-
escape.
do you help make this mold?
Oh yeah, they do work.
Yeah,
Kind of in the mole gardens.
That's what grows in the mole gardens. Yeah.
Hmm.
How do you grow it? Like
We don't touch it. We make the Minox do it. It's
Would
dangerous.
you like to touch it?
awesome.
No?
Do you know anything about the mole? Oh, sorry.
Hang on. Let's have a group huddle over here.
Yeah.
All right. You distance yourself a little bit from the tied up red cap and drop your voices to a hush.
All right. What if we try to get him to like yell and scream and like try to bang on the door, see if he gets anyone else inside's attention?
So you're saying we beat him?
We don't really. There's got to be more red caps behind that door. Like, if they have a changing of guard, and his boss, the Tooth Fairy, who steals people's teeth.
Like my teeth.
Okay, well, one of two things are gonna happen. Either doesn't matter what we do with him, whether we dispose of him or whatever, they're gonna find out that we were here anyway. So I mean, I'm just trying to see if we can find a way to get in.
I think he could be a nice little friend to hang around with. You know, we're just he'll tag along with us.
Lola, I can
Mm-mm.
appreciate how naive you are, but if you just killed someone's friend and then scared him into submission, he's not gonna be your friend. He's just gonna say
But
whatever
he has
has to
mental
say to be alive.
disabilities now. He has mental disabilities now.
No.
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
Not more than our party.
Oh.
He's scared right now, but eventually he'll get out from under the charm person spell and probably recover from his shock. And at that point, he's going to be very, very mad. So
Well, who's killing him?
So Keely will.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna look away,
We'll give
so I
him.
am not a witness
peaceful
to
Hang on,
death.
murder.
are we done with him yet? Because we just want to make sure.
yeah,
because,
that's
I
really
mean,
the question here.
I mean, who knows how long it's gonna be until someone opens that door again?
Hmm.
Just stab him.
I think wits.
Yeah.
You're full of tricks. Can you do voices? Can you do like auditory illusions?
I have something specifically for that, actually. I can only do it once though for it to be accurate. Well, actually, no, I can do it a few times. All right, I take it back.
Yeah, I want to grab the rope and begin leading him over here whenever we get a chance.
Quilly is bloodthirsty.
Yeah, this necessary.
I know. I'm just saying. I just like how we're like, all right, so let's see, what should we ask him? And then you're standing there with like a spear at his neck.
You can move him now, Sequila.
All right, I'm just gonna lead him over here.
All right, so what was your plan, Sybil?
I mean, it's possible that we could get rid of him here, if that's the case, and go back to the mansion and check some things. Maybe take a breather and then come back here. Or we could, just head straight in with him alive.
Well, I don't think I don't think we should leave him alive if we're gonna leave here.
Mm.
He's a loose end until we dispose of him. After all,
Yeah.
because if they do come out while we're in the mansion, and they see dead bodies, at the very least, they won't know who did it.
Oh yeah, should we hide the corpses? Make it look like they left?
That would be pretty good.
Or rip their heads off and put them on the lights.
I think that's a little bit,
That's a great plan B, Lola.
Might be a
Thank you.
bit of an alignment change.
I was about to say. I think she's
Hat
slowly
off.
becoming Mardos again.
Oh God, no!
Just the
Jenny's
essence of Mardos
changed
is
us.
taking her over.
It's the mold. It's
You would've-
poisoning me.
You would have liked our friend Mardos.
She sounds wonderful.
Yes, that was exactly what happened with Martos, was an alignment change, and that did not end well for Martos.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
they
we
look
can-
small. Maybe we could carry them and give them a burial like the bird funeral. Or we
You guys
Put
still
them
whispering?
somewhere hidden.
Are you guys
like-
still
I'd
whispering?
say this is still like a semi huddle right here.
Okay.
Sequili's not here anymore.
All right, I just wanted to make sure that you weren't saying that for Sequili to hear, because if Sequili could hear that, then so could he.
Imagine if the guy heard Lola saying, "What if we ripped off their heads?"
Yeah, that's what I wanted to check.
Oh my god, that
God.
would just shatter with charm person.
I only get one for use of that. Be careful. All right. Yeah, I think first off, we should definitely hide the bodies before we do anything else. But if we're done asking him questions, then we can dispose of him. So yeah, and then we can decide if we want to go in now or take a breather.
Okay, well,
Alright.
sounds like a plan.
All right. Hey, buddy. He's talking to this guy.
All right, you make your way back over to the red cap, and again, he still speaks in Sylvan, but he understands what you're saying, Wits, and just kind of, what's going on?
Hey, you don't need to worry, buddy. Everything's gonna be just okay. And then he's kind of like half nods at Sequili.
Sequili nods back at Wits and then looks over to Sybil. Sybil, please do Sequili a favor.
Yeah?
Use your nature magic to make plants grow here. Flowers.
Okay. So she's gonna turn to the red cap really quick and say, "Hey, I'm just gonna grow a nice flower bed over here for your enjoyment."
Flower bed.
Yeah, yes, it sounds nice. What are we doing, guys?
Sequili forcefully turns him around, like spins him around to face the flowers. And then he'll look at Sybil and Wits and just
Hey.
kind of give him like the jerk's head away, like if you don't want to see this.
I'm
Hey.
gonna hang out here with my friend really quick.
Hey, it's okay, buddy. You did a good job.
Just look at the flowers.
Yeah, they're nice. It's what's going to happen next, guys?
We actually really appreciate everything you did to help us.
Yeah, of course, we're friends now, right?
May Athar guide your soul.
La la la
And
la
then
la la
Sequili
la
will
la
raise
la
up his
la
spike and
la
just
la la.
stab it down right through his neck, like down towards his heart.
He lets out a little bit of a gurgle and then falls limp across the
La la
flowers.
la la la.
Sequili will just kind of hold his amulet and just kiss it. To bury or no?
Yes. And now Witch will take the 9 gold.
Okay.
Maybe not here. Maybe we should carry him somewhere else to bury because they might see the upturned earth and
We could throw him in the fountain.
Okay.
mm,
The fountain
I,
will
I
become
think
red.
that's a nice thing. Perhaps.
I think we gave them a better. Ugh.
Could hide bodies in bushes and bury later when done here.
Yeah, we are somewhat pressed for time, likely.
Yeah, that sounds a good idea.
All right. So you drag the 2 red cap bodies off into the bushes in the corner along the rock face and kind of obscure them from view, so that one who walks by would not be able to see them.
And Witch will kind of go around like this whole area and then kind of like spot clean any blood with prestidigitation.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll take some time to do all that Because I know.
Yeah, you do that while
they're
they're dragging them over. You clean up some of the blood, and after a bit of work, you guys kind of look around at your surroundings, and it looks pretty much the same as how you left it, except for the flowers.
Before we go, hey, Sybil, you can help me with something?
Yeah?
What's
Oh, the hedge! Is there much you can do for this poor thing?
You might be able to fix it. I don't know if I can really do much.
There's a
Nothing I can
rather
maintain.
there's a rather large hole in it. I would say fixing that would potentially be possible, Sybil, but would take you quite a while.
Huh? Is it possible I could just do a very, very like
think-
slapdash? Like you would look at the hedge and immediately it looks like there's like something filled in there. It might be thin, but can I do that?
Yeah, it will still be pretty obvious that there's something wrong with this part of the hedge, unless you want to take the time to fully repair it, which would be quite a while.
You know what? I feel like the time is probably more valuable than the hedge looking perfect.
Well, here, I have another idea. I was gonna ask you to help me with.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll pull out like a parchment and like a quill, and hand Sybil. Be like, can you write something down for me and Sylvan?
Okay. What would you like me to write? She's going to like write this in very messy handwriting on purpose.
Okay.
Thinking that, I don't know.
Write down.
Fair assumption.
Write down. Went out for a drink. We'll be back later.
Gone
Also-
fishing.
Sybil is going to write, went out for a drink, went out for a drink, boss. Please don't be mad. Be back soon. Something like that.
XOXO.
Kissy
No,
face.
hang on, we're just trying to think of something to say about the hedges being messed up.
Had to take a piss.
Destroyed and the hedge to take a piss. Maybe say something like I was literally had the thought I was about to say. It's on the tip of my tongue now. Did he mention what was the name of the other creature that was workers for them?
He called them mean locks.
Mean locks, yeah.
Lux? You can say, don't mind the hedges. A few of those mean locks got a little rowdy.
Very well.
Wait a minute. I have a better. What if the excuse is that the mean locks screwed up the hedge and they ran off to go attack them? Or, like, do their guard duty or whatever?
Yeah, like chase him down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like either way would work. That makes more sense though.
Okay. So she's going to, write down instead that, like, hey boss, the mean locks screwed up the hedge. We're gonna go hunt them down really quick. Be back soon.
All right, yeah, you scrawl that out in something that kind of looks like a messy sort of handwriting, and sort of leave it against the hedge there.
Yeah.
Very well.
Just put like XOXO, love you, boss. Winky face.
Please don't take our tea.
I just grew them.
They're very precious to us. Oh my god. Okay. Well, hopefully that keeps them off our backs for a bit if they come out here.
I hope so.
All right. Well, we should probably clear out.
All right, then. I guess we probably should go take a rest in the mansion.
Mhm.
Definitely have exerted a lot.
Yeah. I am very unnerved by the fact that there are a lot of Fae in this mansion and grounds, and we have not run into any of them so far. He said that they're like his mistress is in the mansion. I am unnerved by that. Do you think she's in like
Probably in the
the
upper level if she is.
Many
Yeah.
locked doors.
I mean, you did
Mhm.
find a scrying spell last time.
It's true. I
Mhm.
called use it on Beira, but if
Just
Mistress
to
is
re-
different than her, then
Just to
that
remind
might
you
be
last time.
yeah,
about
that
what,
might be something to check.
Yeah,
Vera is
there were
actually in Orlando right now.
consequences, right? Like,
It would be the standard scrying save, but if you failed it, it would have consequences on you, on whoever cast it. That was sort of how it
Right.
worked.
They got to be on the same plane, right?
Yeah, it's the only
Okay, so
stipulation.
Beira would be one of those iffy ones to use it on because she can like plane walk or whatever. So if
Mhm.
she's here, it'd work. If not, then it wouldn't.
I will say if she was on a different plane, it wouldn't be the bad consequences. It would just not work.
Gotcha.
okay, so it wouldn't
Okay.
consume it either.
Yes, if you fail to do it, it does the bad consequences, which I don't think I've talked about yet. But it does have consequences, but it also retains the flower, and so you don't
Okay.
you don't waste it if you fail it. You get to try again later, but again, you might get the consequences again.
Okay. Well, guess we should go back to the mansion and take a rest then, and maybe do a scrying spell. About then.
Good, because I'm almost out of level 2 spell slots.
Okay. So you make your way back through the hedge maze and back across the fountain yard, and are making your way back into the manor, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a room in particular that you're trying to go to? Because I can jump you there if you want.
Mm,
We're preparing to take a long rest. You need a place with beds. I'd say probably the maid quarters because I know the
Yeah, the butler one is
the
full
other
of
one has
corpses.
some friends in there.
Fair enough.
It's already occupied.
All right. Then you wind your way back along the north hallway, and eventually arrive back at the maid's quarters. And making your way back through the door, you find the quarters to be as you left them. Which is to say, some of the beds upturned as you searched, and some of the blankets and clothes thrown everywhere, but otherwise, nothing else present.
Oh, look, there's just enough beds left for us to sleep in.
Yeah, I think you destroyed that bed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think she cut into the fence.
mhm. Mhm.
Wetzel, just real quick. He wants to actually know what's in the water skin.
Okay. Yeah, you pop the cork and what? Smell it?
Yeah, he'll take a little whiff.
All right. There's a very strong metallic scent.
Metallic. He'll take like he would like try to pour like just a drop on his finger and then kind of like this little lick peck on his finger. To see
Yeah.
what it tastes like.
Well, when you pour it out onto your finger, a little droplet, it is a dark crimson.
Bro. Don't drink that.
And color and scent combined, it does appear to be blood.
Raven would have really liked it here.
What's he gonna say? Let's see if Draven really was right about how good this stuff is. He like
Oh,
licked
God.
his finger and taste it.
It certainly tastes like blood. Nothing
it's a-
remarkable happens.
It's up to you if you like it or not, bud.
Hey Lola, you want some wine?
I am real good. I don't drink.
No. Okay. Suit yourself. Let's just put the cork back on and then just like pleasantly leave it on the table.
Very well. Yeah, you plop it down on the table, and there are numerous beds throughout the hall that you can all kind of each claim. Is there anything that you want to do before? Are you long resting or short resting?
Kinda
I'd
need a
imagine we
long
probably
rest.
need a long rest.
Yeah, long rest.
Fair enough.
But as for something to do, this has been bothering me for a long time, but I haven't like thought of doing it before now. Remember that seed I got from the little like forest sprites
Yeah.
way back that I planted but didn't have Druidcraft?
Mhm.
Now that I have Druidcraft, I'm gonna try to see if I can grow that and see what it is.
Yeah, it won't fully grow, but it will. You can force it to sprout far quicker than it would naturally.
Okay.
Yeah. So you kind of you channel druidic magic into the little seed that you planted, and you see kind of the earth sort of push out of the way as this tiny little sprout emerges. And with your own expertise of nature, I won't make you make any sort of check. You kind of understand a bit about it just from the get-go. It appears to be some sort of small little sapling, like a baby tree.
Huh? Can I tell it kind of tree, or is that like a nature check?
It appears to be probably deciduous rather than some sort of pine tree. You can definitely tell that. And the bark itself is sort of this really hard consistency as you touch it. It's not soft like other kind of bark, as this tiny little sprout comes up and kind of forms almost a miniature trunk, sort of almost like a little bonsai tree. And it has very, very hard bark, and the leaves themselves are kind of this pale gold.
Ooh.
As for the exact tree that this is,
Mhm.
difficult to say. You've never seen it before.
Hmm. Well, it's good to know, though.
Is there anything that anybody else wants to do before they take a long rest?
I don't have any alcohol, so nothing.
Sequili will take first watch.
All right.
All right, I can take second.
I'm preferred.
Let it be a surprise.
I would still fold up this dress and put it in here, and then get into bed.
I could give y'all a nice little wake up call.
Alarm clock Lola.
Then after combining those two beds at the bottom there to make one big centaur-sized bed,
Yeah.
Sequili's just gonna like. Okay, so I would watch the door, right? But he's seen ghosts just straight up go through walls in this place.
Fair.
So he's just gonna kind of circle the table. So you guys hear just kind of a little rhythmic clopping as he just kind of paces around, keeping watch for his watch.
All right. Then, as Sequili stands watch, the rest of you find beds and attempt to drift off to sleep. And after quite a eventful few hours of travel and then exploring the keep, you quickly find that sleep does take you without too much effort. And you drift off to sleep as the the gentle clopping of Sequili's hooves fills the air. And as you take your long rest, drifting off to sleep, you can of course refresh everything you want in your character sheet, so you don't have to remember to do it next time at the top of the session. But as you drift off to sleep, Sybil,
Mm-hmm.
you begin to dream again. But that's where we'll leave the session for today.
I knew
Aw.
it. I felt it coming.
We'll come back and we'll start with your dream.
Good stuff.
That was a good session. I love causing psychological horror.
Man, we kicked a dog off a
You broke
table.
that
You hit
man.
a corpse.
All right.
Poor guy.
So, off the top of our heads, does anything interfere with next Tuesday?
I should be good.
Nope, nothing.
I'm good.
I'll let you know.
I should
though,
be good.
because my schedule is a little more crowded now than it used to be.
Okay.
So some stuff might change, but I think I should be fine.
If anything changes, let me know. But we'll pencil in for next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we will pick up where we left off with Sybil's dream.
Looking
Good
forward
session.
to it.
I have to go. So it was a good session. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have to head out, please feel free to do so.
All right. See y'all.
Later.
Take care. And I will do the wrap up. So, for those of you who are new here, oh, well, welcome first of all. I saw lots of new people in the chat today, so that was nice to see. And thank you for the follows that occurred as well. But for those who are unaware, all the campaigns I run on this channel take place within the same living world, and so consequences can affect other campaigns, and they can work together towards goals, they can work in opposition to each other, and all sorts of fun things in the future. But yeah, the living world, of course, is Grand Lorien, and we're going to be starting up another campaign quite soon, so look forward to that. There'll be a new group starting within the month. As for where you can find updates on things, if you follow me on Twitter, that's where I'll change the schedule. So find me there if you're wondering if I'm changing times around and stuff like that. That's where I'll be announcing the new campaign as well and when that'll be starting. But you can also join the Discord, and I do all that stuff there too. It's not just for players, it's for anybody who feels like they want to be involved in the community. There's fan art channels, meme channels, channels for all the different campaigns where you can discuss what happened or what you think might happen. All sorts of fun stuff like that, so please feel free to join. If you want to catch up on something, check out the archive on YouTube. There's a link there, but it's Grand Lorien on YouTube as well. That's where you can get caught up on anything you might have missed, or go back and watch old campaigns that have wrapped. As for the world itself, if you want to learn more about the living world of Grand Lorien, you can check out the World Anvil, which is basically like a wiki for all the information you might need. So if you're curious, during this session when you saw them talking about Athar, or the continent that they're in, Kiltahera, or any of that kind of stuff, you can go and check that out and read more about it there. There's stuff on deities, stuff on factions, stuff on places around the world, and even some characters as well. So take a peek at that if you are interested in learning more about the world. That's all I have for now. So as I said at the beginning of the stream, there will be a new campaign starting relatively soon within March, hopefully, unless anything weird changes. But I think we should be all right. And that'll be starting up soon. I'm very excited about that. The new group seems like they'll be a lot of fun to play with. I'm excited to see what they pick, because I'm giving them some options for what kind of campaign they want to run, since I have a bunch of stuff ready. As for the other campaigns, this one obviously takes place on Tuesdays. Yes, it is Poggers. This one takes place on Tuesdays now. They were Wednesdays, but we shifted over, so it is Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. The campaign that used to take place on Sundays, Seas of Sand, now takes place on Thursdays. So this Thursday, barring any weird changes, they will be starting up again, finally rescheduled, and we'll get back to more Seas of Sand. And then, like I said, the other one will be starting up soon. So look forward to that.
I'm looking forward.
Yes. Very excited. As for the wrap up, should we send everybody somewhere? Rika's streaming. Maybe we should send everybody to Rika. Sounds like a good idea. I would send you to Letty, but I don't think she is streaming for very long. So we'll do Rika for today. All right. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good night. And go and be nice to Rika. I think she's doing a bunch of art, so her art is very awesome. So go and check that out.
Have a good night, everyone.
Night.
Night.